Hi guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So today we are back with another pick a card from our 2023 series. The last video that we did was a general prediction of 2023. Please feel free to check that out if you haven't yet. But today we are going to be looking specifically at your love life in the year 2023. This reading is going to be for everyone, regardless of your relationship status, whether you are single with no one on your mind, single with someone on your mind, in a committed relationship, going through a breakup, whatever it might be. We're gonna make sure that there are interpretations for a myriad of different love life situations. And in today's reading, we're going to look at the general energies of your love life, and then we're also going to see a chronological series of events that you'll be going through in your love life throughout the year 2023. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and instead of cards or crystals, today we are using candles to choose your group. So each candle is a different color and it's also a different scent, and I'm going to show you each of them close up. I'll also let you know what the scent is, so you could be drawn to the color, the scent, both, whatever feels right to you. Please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Also, I'm realizing to pick it up and show you close up, I'm gonna blow the candle out because I wanna turn it over so that you can see the pattern on it and stuff. So it might be a little bit less romantic, but it's safe. So without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. So option number 1, you have this blue candle, and this is Gardenia scented. Option number 2, you have this pink candle, and this is vanilla scented. Option number 3, you have this purple candle, and this is lavender scented. And option number 4, you have this red candle, and this is rose scented. And here's all the boys lit up side by side. You can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Are we focusing? Okay, hi number 1s. So if you guys chose the blue Gardenia scented candle, this is going to be your reading all about your love life in the year 2023. So we're gonna get right into it, starting with the Moon Child Tarot. And this is something that I do in my love life reading sometimes, but I'm gonna pull 3 cards from this deck and get personalized messages for you guys depending on where you're at in your love life. So there's gonna be a card for those of you who are in the beginning of a cycle, the middle of a cycle, and the end of a cycle in your love life. It's very much up to you where you feel like you're at on your journey, but just for some examples, if you're in the beginning of a cycle, you could be single looking to meet someone new, or maybe you just met someone new, or you just got into a relationship, so things are still new and fresh and exciting. In the middle of a cycle, this would be like you have been interested in the same person for quite some time, or you've been in a relationship with the same person for quite some time. And then the end of a cycle could be like you've just went through a breakup, or you're considering ending a relationship, or you're in a separation of some kind. But I do want to say that you're free to claim any and all of the messages that come through. So for example, even if you feel like you're a beginning of a cycle type of person, there might be messages for you in the other cards that resonate, and you are very, very welcome to take any messages that may resonate with you. So let's start shuffling our thick queen. I want to mention, if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, I also do pick a card readings over on Instagram, so feel free to join me there as well. And if you guys liked the song that was at the intro of this video, you can listen to the full song over on my music channel, and you can also get merch of that floating temple in the intro at my website down below. All of that's going to be linked down below. Okay, so for my group number 1s, we're going to start off with a card for my beginning of a cycle people. And we have the Page of Swords for middle of a cycle. We have Moonchild. So that's like an original card of this deck. And for end of a cycle, we have the Hermit. Okay, so starting off with the Page of Swords, for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, there's so many things that this card can indicate. For one, you could be involved with an air sign person, so that's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This could also be indicating that you will be involved with someone who is around the same age as you, or around the same stage of life as you. This is the feeling that I'm getting. This is kind of a specific thing for me when I get this card, but it sometimes makes me think of like a language barrier, or like you have different mother tongues. That will likely just be for a few of you, but I did want to mention it. It also can be an indication of telepathic connection. So you might have a little bit of telepathic connection with a new person you meet, and it might even start a little bit before you meet them. But other things that this can indicate is meeting someone online. So if you guys are using like dating sites or dating apps or something like that, I actually do feel that this will be successful for you. I know that it can be hard to find people that you vibe with, and it can be overwhelming sometimes, but this card is really indicating to me that you will have success. And this can also indicate a situation where like friendship is growing into a romantic connection. So for those of you who maybe are developing a crush on your friend at the time of watching this reading, this could be a very positive sign for you. Or for those of you who are single, you might be starting up something with a friend of yours, or like making friends with someone, and then it sort of progresses into that direction. There's also a message, I don't know how many people this is going to resonate with, but it's like having a dating style that is kind of unconventional. And maybe this message is just coming up as like a confirmation, or to assure you guys that like however you feel that you want to approach dating and relationships, that's valid. Because I see sometimes people in the comments of my videos, for example, who are like polyamorous, which is kind of unconventional, or maybe they're asexual, which is unconventional. And I really feel like using finger quotes. It's just not like the norm with heavy finger quotes. Or people just want a casual relationship. They just want like a friends with benefits situation. They're not really looking for love. And some people are made to feel guilty for what they want in love and relationships. And that is so sad, and it's dumb. Like if anyone who would try to make you feel bad or feel weird for the things you want in love and relationships, like if I'm not dating you, it's not your business. Like just let me do what I want. So I feel like there's a message from Spirit. Like if you guys have been thinking of experimenting with more like unconventional styles of dating, or maybe you're like experimenting with your sexuality or something like that, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you do try to explore that side of you, I think it could be very, very fruitful. Like it could be very fulfilling for you and very enjoyable. And I do think that you will be successful in anything it is that you're looking for in love and dating. There is advice for you guys who are looking for someone new, or if you're in the beginning stages of relationship. Be upfront. Be very upfront about what you want, and it's better to be upfront earlier on in the relationship. Of course, if you feel comfortable and if you feel safe, to like be honest about anything you need to be honest about. Spirit is saying the sooner the better, and this is more so that you don't waste your time, you know? So like lay everything out on the table. Like, look, this is what I'm looking for. You know, sometimes we like hide things about ourselves, or hide what it is that we really want, because we're afraid of rejection. But Spirit's kind of saying just make the process quick. The Page of Swords is very blunt, very straightforward. does not really have time to waste. And it's like, let's just lay everything out on the table and we'll see, like, okay, we're probably not going to be a match. We're looking for different things. Like, let's go our separate ways. You could be quite, if you're using dating apps, like be really like straightforward in the, be really straightforward. When I use Tinder, I have to put in the bio, I'm not a unicorn. Like, please leave me alone. Just, you know, like if you're looking for a hookup, just swipe whatever direction it is on me. I don't remember because that's not what I'm looking for. Just to filter through all of the, by the way, if you guys don't know, unicorn is when couples go hunting for bi woman to be their third person, and it's just like, if you're into that, that's awesome, but it's kind of disheartening when you're like actually looking for a partner and you match with a nice girl and she's like, hey, so like me and my man, or I'm just like, oh, anyway, it just, I feel you if you're on dating apps and it's overwhelming, but like, you know, just cut through all of that stuff from the get-go. That's what I'm trying to say. That's your advice, you know. Okay, so let's move on to those of you who are in the middle of a cycle in your relationship. And we have Moonchild, which is a special original card of this deck. This personally does make me think of Cancer, because Cancer is related to the moon. And now that I say this, I'm actually noticing that these cards together for you guys could be indicating that Gemini season through Virgo season is going to be a significant period in your love life. So late May to late September could be when something's going down. Some big changes are happening for you guys. But anyway, with Moonchild, what I really think this is indicating is that whoever you're currently involved with, whether it's a love interest or a full-on like significant other or even a spouse, I think that your emotional bond is going to become much, much deeper this year, and you're going to unlock a new level of intimacy. More specifically, I feel like you're getting better at articulating your deepest emotions with each other, without feeling like afraid of judgment. It's like we're becoming more articulate, we're feeling more safe around each other, and it's even like you feel like you're in such a safe space that you can sort of find the words to put to how you're feeling through trial and error, without fearing that like, oh, if I word this wrong, it's gonna start a fight. So you can sit there with your person like, I think I'm feeling like this and this and this, or no, that's not quite right, it's more like this and this and this. And you're safe to do that because there's no risk of like the other person getting defensive. What do you mean you feel that way? Are you saying that you think I'm blah, blah, blah? Or like, it's just like, take your time to talk through it. No like hard feelings. We're not going to take things personally. Let's work through this together. So your communication is improving, your emotional bond, and you could be sharing things with each other that are a little bit vulnerable with this Cancer-ish, fourth house-ish energy. This could be opening up more about your childhood, learning more about, you know, where the other has come from, learning more about their family. You could even be meeting each other's family next year. But it's like we're getting to know deeper. Why is this? I don't know why this is coming up, but you know how sometimes like TV shows or like animes and stuff, it's like, oh, we have this filler episode, so let's just do a backstory of this character. So it's like you're watching episodes of each other's backstory and like learning how you became the person that you are today, and really getting to know each other like the backs of your hands. And with this Cancerian energy as well, this is like a deeply intuitive connection where your communication goes far beyond words. It's like you are really getting to pick up on the very subtle cues of each other. This little like, oh, your eyebrow twitched 1 millimeter. So, or like, oh, your body language, the way you're looking at me, the punctuation you're using, like you're just tapping in that much deeper to the very subtle cues of each other. And it's like, you can just tell how the other is feeling. You have that kind of very deep intuitive connection. So needless to say, I think you're probably spending a ton of quality time together with your person in 2023, and just getting really, really close together. Like, I'm picturing like Play-Doh. That's so gross, but like, just like you're melding together. That's how I saw it. Okay, anyway, so for the end of a cycle now, we have the Hermit. And I think that this makes a lot of sense as a card to come out for the end of a cycle, because this is a card that talks about, well, quite literally, it can talk about solitude, you know, like being a hermit. So I think this is indicating you sort of going through a period of alone time. The Hermit is about taking your time to really reflect and introspect and look within for the lessons that you need to learn. So I kind of see someone is like, and it might not even necessarily be just reminiscing on your last relationship. It could be reminiscing on your friendships, reminiscing on your childhood, on like major events of your life at large, and just it's very similar to this middle of a cycle energy, you know, like being more vulnerable, being more intimate, but it's all inward. It's like developing a more intimate relationship with yourself, getting to know yourself better, examining the reoccurring patterns of your most recent relationship and just the reoccurring patterns of your relationship in general. I could see that you guys are perhaps journaling a lot during this time or reading a lot during this time. This is by no means saying that this is going to be your whole vibe throughout the whole year. Although if you feel called to spend 2023 single, that's amazing. You don't have to jump into a new relationship if you don't feel like doing that. But I do think that Spirit is at least calling for a period of hermitness for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, a period to really do some self-reflection. And to me, it doesn't really seem like we're going back to whatever ended. So like, I'm not really getting the vibe from this card of going back to an ex or like going back to a situationship that fell through. It seems like we're moving on, like we're taking the lessons of our past, we're showing gratitude for our past, but we're moving in a new direction. Okay, so now we're going to look at some oracle cards to look further into the general energies of the relationship. So we have Trust Your Intuition, Envy, I am the same as everybody but with different challenges, Worth the Wait, and I saw 1515 when this card came out. Spirit Guides, so we have 1111 now. Your spirit guides are watching over your current love situation. Pay attention to repeating signs. This card also means that you are protected and it's safe for you to love. We have Mercury. And oh my gosh, is it gonna fit? And then we have Fill Your Cup. Okay, so I think that Trust Your Intuition is a beautiful card that honestly lends itself very well to any of the energies that we've discussed here. And I really like that we have a green background in this card, because the color green does remind me of the fourth chakra, aka the heart chakra. So it's like your heart is always going to lead you in the right direction. And with this person being blindfolded, this is very much giving the feeling of closing your physical eyes and seeing with the third eye, letting your intuition and letting your emotions guide the way. And with the number 23 here, which reduces to 5, this is indicating to us that leading with your heart first is going to bring really big change to your love life, because number 5 is the number of change. This is a year where we're going to, I feel like it's important for you guys, and maybe this sounds kind of ironic because this is like a love reading, and I guess I'm technically like someone giving you advice, but with the Hermit and Moonchild energy here, and even the Page of Swords, like, you know yourself really well and you know what's best for you. And I think that this year, and I just noticed 23, it's like 2023, I feel like we're moving away from taking dating advice from other people, or, you know, trying to navigate relationships in the same way that everybody else does. We spoke a little bit about, like, we're not just going to go with the norm. We're going to explore our own individual way of navigating love and relationships based on what feels good. That's really important for you guys this year. The example that came to my mind was, you know, those things of like, oh, they took X amount of time to respond, so I'm going to take this amount of time, or like, we should move to the next level of the relationship after we've dated for this long. Or I think we're kind of throwing away or not putting so much importance on these like textbook rules or these norms of relationships, and we're learning how to look within in any moment and say, what feels right to me? What feels right to me in this moment? What does my heart want to do? And this is going to get easier over time. It's definitely a practice. So I want to tell you, if you guys struggle with that in this current moment, it is something that's going to get better over time. And I dare say that in the year 2023, you will become a master at this. This can also be a card that's here to indicate to you guys that what your intuition tells you about your love life, about what is coming to you, or about what a certain person means to you, like the significance of someone in your life, the strong feelings you might have for someone. It's really important to trust that those feelings are there for a reason, and that those feelings should be explored. If you let your heart guide you, it will always lead you to answers. It will lead you to more answers, and it will lead you to more clarity. So that's very important for you guys to remember. With envy here, I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. This is kind of an interesting energy. I don't know if everyone will resonate with this, but what's coming to my mind is, you know, being envious of other people's relationships. So for example, you're single and you're envious of people who are in a relationship. Or you're in a relationship and sometimes you feel envious of people who are single because they have more freedom, so to speak. Or maybe you're in a relationship and you're envious of your friends because they're like getting married already, and you don't know when that's going to happen for you. Just like looking at other relationships around you and feeling, you know, kind of envious. Maybe you're long distance and you're envious of people who are not long distance. Things of that nature. And I feel like with this, I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. This is advice from spirit, or rather something that you're learning in 2023, that, you know, envying people for one aspect of their life, like being envious of someone for one aspect of their life, is not helpful, and it's just not, it's not accurate, because you don't know in what other ways they could be struggling. And I feel like even giving that example of like a single person envious of a taken person and a taken person envious of a single person, it's kind of like a grass is greener sort of vibe. And there's always something about your own situation to appreciate. So if you're single and jealous of a taken person, you can think about how, like, I'm thinking of that meme. It's like, I forget the image, but it's someone sleeping really peacefully. And it's like how I sleep knowing that I'm single and I'm not getting cheated on. It's so bad. But like, there's always something to find to be grateful for of your current relationship status, or where you're at in your current love journey. And you know, that very person or relationship that you might feel envious of, there might be challenges to that relationship that you don't see, that you don't know about. So it's just really important to, and it's very much easier said than done, but when you catch yourself, even if it's not envy towards a specific person, but just a feeling of like, I should be here in my love life, I should already be at this stage. There's gonna be, no matter what stage you're at, there's gonna be challenges. And no matter what stage you're at, there's gonna be things to be grateful for. So it's all about realizing like, I'm here right now because I'm meant to be. And there are things for me to be grateful for right now. With Worth the Wait, I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. The next, you're going to be bringing someone in who is very much worth the wait, or if you already have a specific person, the connection with them is worth the wait. Yeah, I don't have much else to add with that, but I think it's interesting that this person is reading a book, because we spoke about with the Hermit, like you could be journaling a lot or reading a lot. I'm also noticing there's a lot of dark hair going on here. I think everyone except for this Mercury dude has dark hair. Like he has, you know, short yellow blondish hair, but everyone else like dark, probably dark, dark. So that could be a trait of a significant person in your life. With spirit guides, this is definitely a very clear message as well. Your spirit guides are watching over your love life. There may be repeating signs coming to you to let you know that change is about to happen. Of course, we have 11:11 here. I also saw 15:15 earlier, which is really sweet because 1, new beginnings, 5, change, 15 reduces to 6, and that's the number of unconditional love and harmony. So there's definitely new beginnings and changes coming this year. For those of you who have a specific person in mind, if we put these two together, this is like spirit saying, yes, they're worth the wait, and also it's safe for you to fall for this person. Like this connection is protected, it's safe for you to love them. In addition to repeating numbers, seeing feathers could also be a sign of change coming in your love life. I think especially white feathers. And there's even white feathers on the Mercury guy's hat. White feathers could actually be a sign that you will hear from your person soon, because Mercury is about communication. So it could be a sign that you're going to get a message from your person soon, or that they're thinking about you, or that they are about to like send you a message telepathically. But I think Mercury is speaking about whatever communication with your person. We spoke about communicating directly, we spoke about deeper communication. Mercury also makes me think of telepathy. It also makes me think of the internet. So like meeting someone online could be very, very likely for this group. Also, Mercury is related to the signs of Gemini and Virgo, which already came up before. So that's being reinforced even more. Gemini and Virgo people could be significant, or again, Gemini season 2, Virgo season could be significant. And then finally, we have fill your cup. I'm also noticing that 23, we have 23 and 26 here. Those could be ages of you or a significant person, or you could have a 3-year age gap, because like obviously 23, 26 would be 3 years. But anyway, fill your cup. This is very much about putting yourself first, or like prioritizing self-care and learning how to fill your own cup so that you never have to depend on someone else to fill your cup. And this is not to say that others won't fill your cup, because they very much will, but we never want to be in a position where we have to rely on someone to fill our cup. Like if you don't fill my cup, it's not going to get filled. It's more that I know how to do it myself, but it's very fulfilling and it's very enjoyable and it's very sweet when we can fill each other's cup. So I feel like this is reminding me of the Ace of Cups. Like there's a focus on learning how to care for yourself, nurture yourself, heal yourself. Take it from me, I learned this the hard way. This can also be about not always filling your cup from the same place. I've definitely been guilty of relying on my significant other for all kinds of emotional support all the time. And my significant other was like, hey, stop. And I was like, okay. And then I learned how to go about it in a more healthy way, take care of myself, or lean on friends, or lean on my mom. Leaning on people is okay, but we can't always be leaning on the same person or need a specific person, one person to fill our cup. So that's another piece of advice from Spirit. And I also think, again, this is reiterating, I just saw 2626, and this is card number 26. So that could be an important number as well. But like, in the end of the day, focus on what makes you happy, because you are in relationships for you. You're not in relationships to like please your parents or to make people think your relationship is normal and acceptable with heavy finger quotes. You're in your relationship for you. So even if someone would think it's like weird or unconventional or whatever, at the end of the day, if you're happy and if the person or people you're with are happy, then that is all that matters. I need to put on some chapstick. Okay, so, and actually I should drink water as well, because all this talking just, you gotta stay hydrated. So, we're gonna go into, I can't remember if I said this in the intro, but we're gonna go into a sequence, the chronological sequence of events that is happening in your love life this year. So we're gonna do this with the True North Tarot. Okay, so we have the Knight of Wands, the Page of Swords, interesting. Then we have the there's two. The Four of Coins and the, and the Wheel of Fortune together. I'm gonna keep those together. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Okay, and then let's take the bottom of the deck energy as well. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Wands. Okay, so regardless of where you're at in your love life, I'm gonna think of this as like the ultimate energy, like where you're gonna be by the end of next year. Whatever the case may be where you're at in your love life, the year 2023 is gonna end with an exciting new beginning. Like an exciting new adventure. And with the sunflowers on this card, this is definitely, it's like the start of a very exciting new chapter that is going to bring a lot of joy into your life, a lot of inspiration into your life. And with the frog here, frogs make me think of adaptability because, you know, they're amphibians. So it's like we're making new changes, we're adjusting, but we're really, really happy. So this will very much depend where you're at in your love life, but for some of you, this could be like a child because pages do very much represent children. It could be like moving in together, getting into a committed relationship if you're not in one yet. But it's like, at the end of the year, you're gonna be like holding hands with your partner and like stepping into an exciting new chapter. So let's see what's leading up to this moment now. I think it's really interesting that we have the Page of Swords, which is a repetition, but with the Knight of Wands here, I feel like this is definitely an encouragement for you guys to like be confident and be bold and put yourselves out there, whether that is virtually, online, or in person. Whatever you feel comfortable doing, whatever feels right to you, because Wands is very much about like following your instinct, following your gut feeling. At least that's how I feel it. But I will say that with the 3 wands on this shield, this is reminding me of the 3 of Wands, which does encourage us to go out of our comfort zone. So, you know, send people messages, initiate conversations, accept invitations. That's also a way to put yourself out there. If you see someone you're interested in, like go up and start the conversation. I think that if you're a little bit more bold and outgoing, and if you're an initiator, it's not even risks, but like stepping out of your comfort zone is going to be rewarding. And so I feel like this Page of Swords is reflecting that, like meeting someone new, striking up conversations with people. If you're in a relationship already, this could be Spirit encouraging you like to be the one to initiate. You know, let's talk more. Let's talk deeper about our feelings. You know, being confident and putting yourself out there in terms of the conversations that you have, in terms of how you communicate. And I think this is what's really going to be the catalyst. That's the word. This is what's really going to be the catalyst to change in your relationship. And this can really start like as early on in the year as you wish. But the first thing to get the ball rolling is like being the initiator and putting yourself out there. And I love that we have the Four of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune after this. And the fact that these came out together, it just tells me that they're talking about the same thing. This is totally like divine intervention or the divine plan. I very often would even interpret these cards like that, even if they came out alone. The Four of Pentacles to me is like you're on the right path, you're protected, everything's happening as it should. It also gives a feeling of nothing that is meant for you can be lost. And then the Wheel of Fortune is like, oh, I have some surprises up my sleeve for you. Like the universe has some surprises for you. But because this is coming after this piece of advice of like initiating and putting yourself out there, it's almost as if the universe is saying, I have more chances to work with you and I have more chances to bless you if you put yourself out there more. It's like, what's that expression? Chance favors the bold or something? It's like, the more you step out of your comfort zone, the more chances the universe has to reward you. The more doors you leave open for the universe to come in and work their magic. And the blessings that are meant for you, the connections that are meant for you will definitely find you regardless. But I feel like this can definitely speed up the process because Wands and Swords are the faster of the suits. So it's kind of like, this is kind of a weird example. I don't know why it came to me like this, but it's like, let's say you have a goal of flooding your house. If you turn on one sink, like sure, you will flood your house eventually, but if you turn on all of the sinks and the shower, and if you get a hose, like we can definitely speed up the process. We can make it more efficient. Like you're making it easier for the universe to come in and do what it wants to do to manifest your desires. You're making it much easier and much quicker. But the universe is really clarifying here. This is not to say like, if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you won't get your blessings. It's not like that. And I just saw 3434. So that's probably a confirmation of that. But we can definitely do things to speed up the process. And I think it's as easy as just being straightforward about what you want. Being straightforward about your intentions. And that's also, I could read these in another way where if there's things that you're afraid, like topics that you're afraid to touch on with your partner or with like potential suitors, the Spirit's saying like, if this person is meant for you, whatever you have to say is not going to scare them away. So like, just say it because you're safe. Let's say, I don't know, I can't think of something right now, but like, okay, let's say, and this is actually something that I went through in my life where I was like, I was going to move to Japan. So let's say I'm moving to Japan in a year. And I'm like dating people and I'm like, I don't want to tell them because then they might not want to date me because they're like, oh, well, she's going to be gone in a year anyway, so never mind. But it's like, whether you tell them or not, it's going to happen at some point and it's inevitable at some point. And this would be Spirit saying to me, if this person is really meant for you, like you going to Japan is part of the story. It's part of your journey together as souls. Like, what is in your journey is not gonna drive away the person who's meant for you. Like, that doesn't make sense. So if this is your soulmate, or like if this is the one that's meant for you, that's not gonna be an issue. So you can just tell them. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. Be bold and say what you need to say, because whoever's meant for you will still be there. They will still be there at the end of the day. And if they're not, then that's them showing you like, oh, you weren't the person anyway. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from these. And, you know, with the Queen of Swords as well. Oh yeah, she's about clearing away. She's about boundaries, and she's about clearing away things that don't serve you. So it's like, we're just, and again, it goes back to that message in the beginning of like cutting through the crap in the beginning. I think there's also advice for those of you who are like meeting new people, or maybe you're like in kind of a gray area with someone, Spirit is really advising against these kinds of things of like, oh, well, maybe they'll change their mind. It's like, take people at face value, you know? Like, oh, they said they don't want something serious, but maybe they'll change their mind when they get to know me. Like, we're not doing that. We don't have time for that. It's not our job to change people's mind. And if you don't see my value and if you don't want to be with me, then like, it's not my job to change your mind. I'm not gonna do that. Queen of Swords is very much like, next, next. And I'm not saying that you're like kicking people to the curb before you get to know them, but it's once you do get to know them, if you're not compatible, we're not gonna like, oh, but what if I don't get another offer? Or, oh, maybe they'll change their mind, or I'm not gonna be upfront because then they might reject me. We're like, let's just get that stuff over with. Let's clear away the energy that doesn't serve us so that we can make energy for that which will. So you're in your strong boundaries, badass, no time for wishy-washy. Even if you're in a committed relationship, like, we're establishing healthy boundaries and we don't have time for wishy-washy behavior. So it's like initiating those kind of straightforward and deep conversations. Like, let's talk this through. Let's work this out. Even if you're in a committed relationship, there can be things that you're like afraid of bringing up with your partner, but Spirit is like, it's time to bring them up, because if they truly love you, they're going to hear you out. And they will. And they absolutely will. And then we have this energy at the end of the year, the Page of Wands, which is like, you're diving into an exciting new beginning, and the sunflowers indicate a happy ending. And maybe this adaptable energy of the frog is like, we're compromising with each other. We're adapting to each other's energy. Like, we talked about our needs and we're going to make it work, and we're going to adjust things for each other. And that's really nice. So now we are going to look at these final messages from Spirit. This could be, it could be messages, it could be advice, whatever Spirit wants to say. So this is actually a message from Aphrodite. Chemistry. My beautiful child, it seems like you and someone close to your heart have good chemistry. This person is very attracted to you and you stirred their feelings and interest. This is an exciting time, so go ahead and flirt. Enjoy the attention. Woo! So yeah, whoever you're involved with, like you're currently involved with, or like you're manifesting them in the new year, there's definitely going to be very strong chemistry and very, very strong physical attraction. And I'm getting a specific message for some of you, like especially for those of you who maybe struggle with like feeling confident in your skin, or like struggle with your physical appearance. Your person is like so unbelievably physically attracted to you. Like it's crazy. And you know, we all know that self-love comes from within, but also like it feels really nice to get external validation. I'm not going to lie. And it's almost like, I feel like sometimes we get this skewed idea of beauty, especially if we're on like social media a lot, that there's only one way to be beautiful. And I think this person could be helping to remind you that that's not the case. Like, what makes you beautiful is you being in your authentic energy and you being in your natural energy. And it's like, this person just finds the natural you so beautiful and so irresistible. And then you're like, damn, I am kind of hot. It's like they're a catalyst. They're a catalyst in your journey to seeing your own beauty. You don't need them to see it, but it certainly freaking helps. And they're just kind of reminding you, like, I have my own unique beauty. I don't have to fit the freaking, I don't know, the Instagram standard of beauty or the K-pop standard of beauty or whatever it is. If you're a sexual person, this can also be indicating an amazing sex life in 2023. And yeah, I just feel like there was a tie to this envy card. Like, if you ever feel like, oh, I should look more like this, or I'm not attractive enough, I feel like this year you're really remembering that, like, what makes you attractive is your authenticity and your own unique energy. And your beauty might look very different from someone else's beauty, but they're both beautiful. Like the same way both this sunflower is beautiful and this, I think, orchid is beautiful. They look very, very different, but you can't compare them because this sunflower is doing an excellent job at being a sunflower, and this orchid is doing an excellent job at being an orchid. Yeah. Then we have unraveling codependency. So that's very interesting. That's reminding me of the fill your cup message. Only I have to feel good about my choices. And we spoke about this already. We also have be where you are. Every situation has its gift. To move forward, we must, this is just like repeating everything I've said already. To move forward, we must first honor where we are, right? There's always something to be grateful for in your current situation. For now, where you are is where you need to be. Wherever you are at, it's where you need to be. And then finally, we have choose love. You always have choice. There's a lot of focus on choice. Like, you are making empowered choices in your love life. So you're not making choices to please the other person, like to please your partner, to please your love interest, or to please your family or whatever it is. You're making choices to please you. And that is honestly what's most loving for everyone involved. Like, because when you make choices to make yourself happy, that's authentic. So when you do that, you're showing your partner or you're showing the person you're involved with your true feelings, your true desires, your true intentions. It's a way of being honest to them. So yeah, make choices with love and make choices that you feel good about. I think you guys are feeling really in control of your love life. Feeling really like in control and empowered in the most lovely way. So group number ones, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and a wonderful year of 2023. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post weekly pick a card readings there, as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song, or any of my other songs, you can do so over on my music channel. And if you're interested in getting merch with that floating temple, that website, everything is going to be linked down below. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you guys so much love to any and everyone that you will be involved with this year, and to your spirit guides and your spiritual team. I truly, truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number twos. So if you guys chose the pink vanilla scented candle, this is going to be a reading all about your love life in the year 2023. So to start off this reading, I want to get some personalized messages for you guys depending on where you're at in your love life. So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Moonchild Tarot deck. There will be one for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle in your love life, one for the middle of a cycle, and one for the end of a cycle. It's completely up to you where you feel like you're at, but just to give some examples, if you are in the beginning of a cycle, you could be single and looking to meet someone new, or maybe you've just met someone or just gotten into a relationship and things are still kind of new and fresh. In the middle of a cycle would be like you've been interested in the same person for a long time, or perhaps you've been in a committed relationship for quite some time. And then the end of a cycle could be something like you've just ended a relationship or considering ending a relationship, or you are in a separation of some kind. But I do want to say, regardless of where you feel like you fall, you are free to claim any and all of the messages that come out. It's possible that you resonate with all 3 or 2 of them. So whatever feels right, whatever messages you guys want to claim. Okay. I also want to mention, if you guys do enjoy the content on this channel, I also post frequently on Instagram. I do weekly readings and new moon and full moon readings, so please feel free to join me over there as well. And if you guys like the song in the intro of this video, you can listen to it over on my music channel. And you can also get merch with the floating temple on it, which is like the symbol of this channel. Okay, let's give you guys one more nice shuffle. Okay, my group number 2s, let's start off with a message for those who are at the beginning of a cycle in their love life. So we're starting off with the 3 of Wands. For those who are in the middle of a cycle, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And for those who are at the end of a cycle, we have the Tower. Okay, so I'll just go through them in order, starting with our message for those who are in the beginning of a cycle. And actually the first thing that I want to mention is that the 3 of Wands is related to the astrological placement of the sun in Aries. So this could be indicating that you will be involved with someone who is an Aries sun, for those of you who are looking to meet someone new. Or if you are currently involved with an Aries sun, this could be a confirmation that you're going places with this person in the year 2023. Or Aries season could be the time when you will meet someone. So from late March to late April, but especially March, because this card is a number 3. And you know, March is obviously the 3rd month, and literally the camera timer is at 3:33 while I'm saying that. So it looks like March could be very significant for those of you who are looking to meet someone new or who like just got into a relationship recently. A couple things with the 3 of Wands. One is that you could be meeting someone when you are traveling, or you could be meeting someone when you are in a physical environment that you have never been before. So it's kind of giving the energy of like, you wouldn't meet someone in your everyday places, in your everyday situations, because the 3 of Wands is kind of about like going outside of the scope of what you're used to. It's about expansion. So expanding your environments, expanding your activities. That's where I'm sort of getting that vibe from. Number 3s, when it comes to love life readings or like any kind of relationship reading, it does also make me think that like a third party introduction could be significant, especially because there's 2 people here. It could be like you and your friend go on a trip together and you meet someone there, or like you and your friend are going out somewhere you've never been before and you meet someone there, or like your friend introduces you to someone. And also, this is a card that encourages you, like I said, to step outside of your comfort zone. So this may be spirit. I don't know if it's necessarily about like putting yourself out there, because I feel like, well, I guess like leaving your house more, because I do feel like you would meet someone new when you're out and about, but also like not being afraid to make the first move and to take initiative, because with that Aries energy, you know, that's a very bold, Aries like to be first. We like to make the first move. For those of you who have already met someone, or you are, you know, just in the beginning of a relationship, the 3 of Wands is an indicator of a promising future. So it's almost saying like you will go far with this person. Not only will you go far with them, but I think that you're going to have really fun times with them in the year 2023. And also you're going to get to watch each other achieve really great things this year and get to like support each other and cheer each other on. I see you involved with someone, like you make each other very proud, and you're both very goal oriented and very talented. So it's going to be a really like healthy and mutually beneficial connection for you. So moving on to those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Which is quite interesting. There is some sort of shift that's going to be happening with your person or with your significant other, but it's not something that you're expecting. It's like an unpredictable change. The Wheel of Fortune, like if you think of spinning a wheel, you don't know where that wheel is going to land. It's unpredictable. And the Wheel of Fortune tells us that change is inevitable. I just heard the words like, don't get too comfortable. there's like a big unexpected shift in plans with you and your person. So just to give an example, this could be like you were planning on settling down in a certain place with your partner, and then all of a sudden there's a big change in one of your jobs and now you have to move, or it's something like unplanned, something unpredictable. Usually when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, we can't really see the nature of this change. It often makes me think of like the universe has something up its sleeve for you. Maybe we'll see it later on in the reading, but it's like you and your person are going to go through some kind of unpredictable change. And it usually is quite significant because this is a major arcana. It's kind of like a change in the course of your path, or a major life event that's really like turning things upside down. So maybe we'll see more about that later on, but this energy is kind of like buckle up, don't get too comfortable. If you're making like big plans with your partner, try to make them adaptable, or just like be open to adaptation, because the Wheel of Fortune just kind of throws you a curveball. So anyway, moving on to those of you who are at the end of a cycle, we have the Tower. And I feel like honestly this card is here as spirit and your spirit guides coming through to offer you comfort, because what I'm seeing for those of you who are at the end of a cycle is that this cycle ended abruptly. The Tower is like change coming in abruptly. It is not comfortable. It's not nice. So maybe some of you guys were blindsided by this change. For example, like being ghosted or being broken up with, like with no explanation. The Tower is kind of like, and I always get this expression wrong, but it's like the rug being pulled out from under your feet, I think. As you can see, the people just falling out of the Tower, and we don't know what's next. Some of you guys, maybe this came to an end recently, or even if this was quite some time ago, you might still feel like you're in this energy, like kind of not being able to get over. This is Mars energy, so this is kind of Aries and Scorpio energy. Aries makes me think of something that is like abrupt and impulsive, and when we have Scorpio type of energy here, it can talk about the need to heal, but it also makes me think of like there's a need for closure, or there was a lack of closure. I think that comes from interpreting the Death card in that way sometimes, but my brain is linking Scorpio to that. I just think this is Spirit's way of saying, like, if you're hurting right now and if you're confused, that's very valid. But what the Tower is reminding us, the Tower only falls down if it's built on a shaky foundation. So whatever has come to an end, whatever or whoever has left your life, it's kind of Spirit's way of saying that the foundation was not solid. And the thing with the Tower, it's like the taller this Tower gets, the higher the fall is going to be, right? And sometimes what I see with the Tower in cases like this is like we started building the Tower and we're like, oh, this is a little shaky. And if we ignore it and we keep building the Tower higher and higher, when that lightning hits, it's going to be a big fall. So the Tower in these types of readings can sometimes give me the feeling of like red flags were ignored in the start, and so we had kind of like, we fell from a high place because we moved past the red flags and built up the relationship or the connection for a very long time. So if it comes to an end, we feel like, we're losing this many months or we're losing this many years. So Spirit's like, I don't know, if you're feeling really like hard from this fall, if you're feeling really down or just really shocked, Spirit and your guides, I guess, just want you to know that they understand that and how you're feeling is valid. And if it takes you a long time to heal or move on, like, you shouldn't feel bad about that, or you shouldn't feel like there's something wrong with you. And I want to tell you guys that in tarot, after the Tower comes the Star, and the Star is the card that talks about having hope for the future. It's the promise that the future is bright and that something better is on the way. So this is Spirit's way of confirming to you, like, you will move on from this. You will be happy. You will recover. So let's move on now to some oracle cards to look deeper into the general energies of your love life. So to start off, we have updates to your system. And you know, it's so cool. We were just talking about how after the Tower is the Star, the Tower is card number 16 and the Star is card number 17, which is coming out after the Tower. So the future is bright, like for all of you guys. And I think you all need to hear that. We said with the beginning card, the future is promising. For the Tower card, definitely a brighter future is ahead. And for those of you going through a Wheel of Fortune moment, an unexpected major change that you and your person are going through, I feel like this is also reassuring that this is going to be a positive change. There may be a little bit of, what is it called? Like franticness, you know, when a change happens suddenly and you're like, oh crap, I gotta adjust to this, we gotta make room. But it's not a bad thing. It's going to lead to a bright and happy future for you. This is, I feel like Spirit's coming in to make some updates to your situation. We also have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Don't give up. Home and family. There might be some changes coming up regarding your current home situation. A relocation, interesting. A relocation could also be possible. This card also stands for starting a family together. We have Jupiter and opportunity. Okay, so first, I want to mention with Jupiter, we did mention Aries and Scorpio over here, but with Jupiter, this could be Sagittarius energy. It could also be Pisces energy. There's like big indication of travel for this group. The Three of Wands is a card that makes me think of travel. We have, there might be, what was it? A relocation could be possible, so that could be talking about travel as well. And also Jupiter being related to the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules over travel. And then that Piscean energy, which relates to the 12th house. If I'm not mistaken, in Eastern astrology, the 12th house is related to foreign lands. So there's just a lot of indications of travel here. So you could very well be meeting someone when you're on a trip or when you've relocated, like if you're moving, if you're going to study abroad, if you're moving for work, whatever it might be, that could be like a catalyst to you meeting someone. If you are with someone already, you and your person could be moving. And then for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, maybe a trip or a relocation is like just what you need to start fresh, like to get a change of scenery, to do some reflection. I personally feel like soul searching and relocation go nicely together, because when you change your physical environment, like you are the constant thing. So it's kind of like you see yourself more clearly as opposed to seeing yourself in this context of like the environment you're always used to, the people you're always around. So yeah, travel's like a big thing for this group. Also abundance, because Jupiter is an indicator of abundance. We have opportunity as well. We have expansion here. We have positive change here. So yeah, and we spoke about like you and your person achieving great things and cheering each other on. I feel like you and your person are really like moving up. You're really moving up and expanding this year. With courage here, I think there's definitely a message for all of you to not be afraid. It's giving me that feeling of like, what would you do if you knew that a positive outcome was assured? Or what would you do if you knew that your success was assured? Whether that be like telling someone how you really feel, going up and starting a conversation, putting yourself back out there after a painful ending, taking leaps of faith in your life, whether that be for career, studies, creative pursuits. And this is honestly something that not only came up in group 1 as well, but that has just been coming up in readings recently. So it might be a collective thing for us moving into 2023, that if we are a little bit more bold this year, if we take leaps of faith, if we take risks to pursue our passion and lead with love, it's going to be rewarded. I really feel like the universe is rewarding our boldness this year and rewarding our courage this year. I can't help but notice too, there's a lot of purple going on in these cards, like purple, 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 pink as well, which is making me think of like passion and love. But purple makes me think of psychic abilities. It makes me think of the third eye and crown chakras. So it definitely seems like your psychic abilities are lit up this year. They probably already are, but I think it's going to be really strong in the year 2023. I honestly don't know that this is specifically about your love life. It seems more like an overall message, but this is going to be a year where you want to honor the random urges that you feel, because those are promptings from your soul. Like if you get a random idea pop into your head, look into it, act on it. If you have a really vivid dream, look into it, act on it. If you feel very strongly about a person who comes into your life, look into it, act on it. This is a year where you really want to validate the strong feelings that you have, even if they don't seem grounded in logic with very, very heavy finger quotes, because that's your soul telling you something. So honoring your intuition is really, really important. With Don't Give Up here, I definitely think that everyone who is watching this group is very much on the right track with their love life. We have that number 17, which assures that blessings are coming. We have Jupiter, which also assures that blessings and abundance are coming. Some of you guys will be starting a family this year. And yeah, you're starting a family or you're moving in together. Jupiter can be representative of a husband. I don't know if that's in Western or Eastern astrology, but it can represent your husband, which is, you know, obviously loosely translated as a spouse. I'm also hearing like marrying up, which I don't know how I feel about that term. But you know, like getting with someone or marrying someone who's like of higher status than you or a higher financial situation than you, or like getting married and then as a result you're doing better financially or you're doing better materially. There's something like that as well. And then yeah, with opportunity here, I know that this is a love life reading, but there's messages about like your financial situation improving, or like you're moving up in your job. And why is this relevant to a love life reading? Maybe it's like you're coming into a place of financial security and you can like start a family, or you can buy a house with your person or something like that. Or that you and your person are just going to really enjoy seeing each other's successes and cheering each other on. But let's get into the next tarot deck now. So we're going to use the True North Tarot, and with this deck we're going to see a chronological series of events in your love life. Okay, let's see for group number 2's the series of events in their love life in 2023. So we're starting off with the Two of Swords. Then we have the Knight of Swords. We have the Devil and the Nine of Wands that came out together. So I'm going to keep them together like this. This last one is taking some time. So there's definitely a feeling of like, be patient and you'll see in the end that it was all worth it. Like, don't give up now. good things come to those who wait. There's that kind of vibe to this group. Keep going, keep having faith. Okay, so finally we got the Queen of Wands, and then I'm also taking the bottom of the deck energy as like the very end of the year. So like when all is said and done and you've moved through the whole year, where are you at? Okay, so I'm going to drink some water before we get into this. This is a really powerful journey for you guys. So let's start here with the Six of Coins, the Six of Pentacles, because this is a beautiful energy. No matter where you're at in your love life right now, I do very much see you in a union, in some form of union by the end of this year, and it's a stable union. And looking back now, like, I should have realized there's two people here, there's two people here, there's like mirroring sphinxes and animals here. There's a lot of symbolism of like two coming together, of couples, of partnerships. And the Six of Pentacles is very much a card that makes me think that. This is personally one of my favorite cards to come out in a love reading, and it does remind me of even the Two of Cups card, because in the Rider-Waite deck, the two people, well, there's three people, but I think of it as like two people and a spirit guide who's helping the two people. But the two people at the bottom are like dressed very similarly to the people in the Two of Cups, and then the third person on it's kind of like above them helping them. So it makes me think that like a spirit guide is working to help bring you and your person together, and that your journey is divinely guided. And the beautiful thing about the Six of Coins is that it's about harmony and balance and like equality and reciprocity. So this shows you in a healthy, stable union where like you're giving as much as you get, you're getting as much as you give, and you're helping each other. We've spoken about you and your person like celebrating each other's successes. Now that I see this, I feel like this could even be indicating that you like get involved in each other's successes and help each other out like in any way that you can. So it's just a really beautiful like reciprocal connection that we see at the end of the year. And you know, the cards at the end were taking quite some time to come out, so maybe this union is happening like at the very end of the year, or it's just gonna feel like, or it has felt like it's taking quite some time, and that was sort of Spirit's way of saying the wait is going to be worth it. Like, keep having faith and don't give up. Your star moment is coming. Not only does the star tell us that, and because the symbolism of the star came out here, that's why I'm talking about it. Not only does the star tell us that the future is bright, but it makes me think of like a dream coming true that seemed like such a distant dream, that maybe seemed too good to be true, or like we didn't know if it was possible for us. And with this group, I really feel like extending this message like outside of just your love life, that the big dreams that you've had, that the things you felt were not possible for you are going to come true. This is a very specific message. For some reason, messages of like fertility and pregnancy have also been coming up very strongly for the collective. There's been messages of like be bold and take risks that are coming up a lot, and also messages of like pregnancy. And we even have an egg on this card. But it's like, I just saw a very specific image of like someone who was told that they can't have children, or like it would be really difficult for them to have children, and then they end up getting pregnant, and it's like a miracle. But yes, even those big dreams that seem too good to be true, Spirit's like, patience. It's just patience. It's just a matter of time, and it will very much be worth the wait. So let's kind of look at the series of events here. I will say that the cards that showed up here are very much talking about an inward journey. So it's more like what you're feeling throughout the year and the energies that you're dealing with. As for the specific events that are happening, of course, I will do my best to give different examples, but I feel like this is more so talking about your inward journey. We're starting off at the beginning of the year with the Two of Swords energy. I want to mention that this card is related to the moon in Libra, so you could be a Libra moon, or someone that you're dealing with is a Libra moon. That would be really cool if like your person is an Aries Sun Libra moon. Let me know. But the Two of Swords talks about being at a crossroads, having to choose between two paths. For some, this could be like choosing between two people. I guess if you are single, or if you're like having second thoughts about someone, this can be like choosing between one person or another. It can also be a should I stay or should I go type of energy. And again, because this is just the vibe for this group, it can also be about like a major life decision. So let's say you're in a relationship and then let's say, I use the example of college a lot, I feel, in situations like this, but let's say you're in a relationship and you have to choose between two colleges. And one of them's like really, really far away, and then you're going to be far from your person and you're like, what should I do? Or, it's like a big choice that you have to make in your life that would affect your relationship, or that would affect where you stand with your person. So it's like the decision could be directly about the person, like should I stay with them or not, but it can also be like, what choice should I make in this major life decision because it's going to affect my relationship with so-and-so, with my person. And the thing with the Two of Swords is like, there's really no right answer, and I feel like that makes it harder, right? The Two of Swords, what I often see is like, this is not one of those decisions where like, if you do research, you'll find the right answer. That's more of like a Seven of Cups thing for me. It's like, you're getting overwhelmed with your emotions. You need to just look at the cold, hard facts. But this is like the opposite. There is no really logical right answer. And so you have to make this decision with your heart and with your intuition. And it's hard because obviously you can't like jump forward in time and see what's going to happen. Well, actually, with your crown chakra, you might. You might get a vision of that. But you have to let your intuition guide you. And so that, that can be scary. You can start to overthink if you made the right choice. I feel like the Knight of Swords is indicating the moment where you do. Okay, I'm going to take some clarifiers for this later and see if there's any advice on navigating this decision. But I think that the Knight of Swords is indicating when you do make your choice. And for some of you, this choice is going to be time sensitive. So in the example of college, like, of course, you have to choose your college by a certain date because the semester is going to start. Or like, if you're getting a job offer, you have to reply to the job within a certain time. I think you guys get the picture, but the Knight of Swords kind of has this feeling of things are moving fast and we need to act now. Now with the Nine of Wands and the Devil here, what I see happening is that, and yeah, it's like a tough energy because I see that you will be doubting your decision. Even if you do follow your heart, even if you do go with your intuition, spoiler alert, you did not make the wrong decision, you made the right one. But I see that you guys would be doubting that because the devil is like that sneaky voice that tries to get into your head and mess with you. Are you sure you made the right choice? No, not even are you sure. It will be in your head, meanly being like, you made a mistake. This was not the right decision. So, and like, it's interesting that we have a Scorpion on this card rather than like a devil. This is normally Capricorn energy, but it could be indicating Scorpio again. But I'm just thinking about, in this reading, like Scorpio was talking about closure. So, for example, maybe someone like let go of their ex and then they're like, they moved on to a new relationship or they're trying to date new people. And so the devil would be in their ear like, this was a mistake. Like, we miss our ex. Let's go back to them. Even though when you made this decision, you were like, no, there's too many red flags. It's not going to work out, and you move on. In a moment of weakness, that devil voice in your head is like, you should call them. No, you can still work things out. It's like trying to get you to double back and choose the other path and convince you that you were wrong. Or like, you were like, no, I'm not going to talk to this person anymore. They're just giving me breadcrumbs and I deserve more. And we're moving on from them. We're closing the door. And then the devil's in your head like, watch one more love reading about them. Or like, just try texting them one more time. Like, it's trying to get you to go back and choose the other thing. Even though deep down your intuition is what guided you to this choice. It's what helped you make the right decision. The Nine of Wands is a hang in there card. So that message keeps coming through so strongly. The Nine of Wands is also about like putting your guard up and like fighting for how far you've come. Fighting for what you've worked for. So it's almost like the Nine of Wands is saying to the devil, like, I'm not letting you infiltrate my mind that easily. We have to put up a fight for the devil. We have to be strong and hang in there. I just saw 3232. That could actually be your guidance when it comes to making this decision. The right decision, or the one that would lead, I don't want to say like the right decision because I can't tell you what to do. I'll just say that it seems like there is an encouragement from Spirit to make the choice that would lead to more change in your life. And we can see that here as well, like stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing changes of plans, embracing divine intervention, letting go of things that were built on a shaky foundation. It seems like Spirit is encouraging movement, is encouraging risk-taking, is encouraging leaps of faith. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And I think that, it's like when I moved to Japan, there's that feeling. I remember feeling like when I was getting on the plane, like, you made a mistake, when like right before when you're in that moment, there's that voice that tries to tell you you're making a mistake. It's not too late to go back, like go back to your comfort zone. And I feel like that's kind of what is going on here. And actually now I understand why there's a scorpion and fire here. Because the scorpion, it's like the symbol of the death card, Scorpio energy, and fire. Fire is also transformative. Once you burn something, you cannot unburn it. And the Knight of Swords even has a bridge on it, like burning bridges. So I feel like this is kind of that devil getting in your head, like you made this decision and like you made the wrong one because you can't go back now. Trying to get you to stay in that comfort zone or to stay the way things were. But because we know that with time, all of your dreams will come true, because we know that you made the right decision, you gain this confidence. The Queen, or queens in general, represent a level of mastery, a level of growth. Like you're going from a knight to a queen. So by fighting this devil and winning, you get crowned as this queen. And this is just making me think of confidence, knowing that you're on the right path. This flower is making me think of joy. The cherry blossoms in the background, it's like an exciting new beginning is coming. After your winter, after your dark night of the soul, these spring flowers will bloom and you'll have your beautiful union. So, this is an inward journey, and I think it can be applied to so many situations. But the important thing to take away from it is that if you listen to the downloads you receive and you let your intuition guide you, you will not go astray. There's abundance coming to you in many areas of life, not just your love life. Spirit is urging for change, for stepping out of our comfort zone. And it's important to put up a fight against those negative voices in our head. And you and your person will be happier for it. So Let's take a look now at some final oracle cards to get our last messages and advice from Spirit. And actually this first one is messages from Aphrodite. Have faith. Wow. Like, have faith, don't give up, have courage. I love it. My child, I see that you're struggling to trust. Having faith that everything will come out just fine, more than fine, I want to add, is important because it puts you in the vibration of attracting what you want. The more I embrace feeling good, the less often I will feel bad, rewriting the subconscious. I know this can seem kind of self-explanatory, but I'm someone who struggles with anxiety, and I found that doing some introspection, there was like a part of me that rejected feeling good or that rejected feeling calm, because I associate it with I'm either being careless and forgetting something. Like if I feel good and relaxed, I'm being careless and forgetting something, or I'm being lazy, or like I'm neglecting some task that I should be doing, or like I forgot about someone and like someone's gonna get mad at me. It's like that feeling of like, don't get too comfortable. If you're in discomfort and if you're anxious, it means that you're on top of things. It means that you're tending to your responsibilities. Like if you're under that pressure, it means you're being a hard worker. You know, I had this weird like positive association with negative emotions and negative association with positive emotions. And so even though reading this seems really straightforward, well, it is, but sometimes our brains get all twisted up. And I feel like this can pertain to love life as well, because and I've talked about this before, and I think I even talked about it in like love life in the rest of 2022 reading. But I think that sometimes, and if the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it. But I think that sometimes when we keep like putting in so much time and effort and energy for a connection that's just not working, or for someone who is like not returning that same energy back to us, sometimes I think we could get into that energy of like, oh, but I'm being really understanding towards them, and I'm being so compassionate, and I'm being really patient on this journey. It's like we're kind of, our ego is like praising us for putting up with the negative stuff in the connection, because it means that like we're perseverant, it means that we're patient, it means that we're like sacrificing for that person. And I feel like this card is saying like, just embrace connections that make you feel good. Yeah, and like allow yourself to unapologetically be happy and allow your life to be easy. And it's definitely a practice to get there. It doesn't happen overnight. And the devil's going to be trying to get to you for some time. But eventually the devil will realize, oh, this game doesn't work on group 2 anymore, and will leave you alone. So it's like when you start trying to live this way, the devil will be very loud. But if you stick to your guns and you keep embracing feeling good and you keep living this way, the devil will get quieter and quieter and quieter until he realizes like, okay, I'm wasting my energy here, and goes to, I don't know, do something else. We have accept. It is what it is. Healing occurs naturally with acceptance. Make peace with what is. The only way out is through. Yeah. And then we have be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. I feel like these cards go really well together. And I understand why Spirit is asking you guys to like make the moves, to go out of your comfort zone, to, you know, show how you really feel. It's almost, when I put these together, it's like lay everything out on the table, and so that you know deep down for yourself, like, I've done what I wanted to do. I've expressed what I wanted to express. Because if someone's right for you, and if someone's meant for you, and if it's like a healthy, happy connection, when you do this, when you make the genuine effort to show you care, and when you make the moves, it will be received positively, and you'll receive that positive energy back. And then you can say, I'm glad I made that move because now I see that this beautiful connection was out there waiting for me. And I got to have that beautiful experience of having it be reciprocated. And then, you know, if you put yourself out there in this way and you make the effort and it's not reciprocated, you take that at face value and you say, okay, I'm glad I did that because that gave me the chance to see that this is not going to be a reciprocated connection, or that this person is not like ready or at that level for this type of connection yet. And so whatever happens, we take that at face value, and then with that information, we make the choice that feels the best to us. Okay, and there's so much purple going on in this reading. I don't know if that's like a significant color for you guys, or it's just indicating, it could be indicating how much you've grown. It also makes me think of like an old soul, an advanced soul, a mature and evolved soul, psychic abilities, also deep spiritual connections. And with that Six of Wands as well, like, or Six of Wands, maybe that was a slip, but Six of Coins, it does make me think of like a soul union, a soulmate union. Why did I say Six of Wands? I guess because you guys are becoming successful. There's so much indication of that. You're becoming successful, you're getting recognition. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good year, and efforts are gonna be rewarded tenfold. So my group number 2s, those are all the messages I have for you for your love life in 2023. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day and night whenever you're watching this, and also a wonderful, wonderful year of 2023. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2s, I am sending you guys so much love to anyone you will be involved with this year, and to your spirit guide and spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the purple lavender scented candle, this is going to be a reading all about your love life in the year 2023. So I want to start off this reading by getting personalized messages for you guys depending on where you're at in your love life. So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Moonchild Tarot deck, and there will be one for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, the middle of a cycle, and the end of a cycle in your love life. It's totally up to you where you feel like you're at, but just for some examples, someone in the beginning of a cycle might be single and looking to meet someone new, or maybe they just met someone or just got into a relationship and things are still new. In the middle of a cycle could be like you have been involved or interested in the same person for quite some time, or you have been in a committed relationship for quite some time. And then the end of the cycle might be like you just got out of a relationship, or you are considering getting out of a relationship, or you're in some kind of separation. But with that being said, like for example, if you feel like you're at the beginning but you resonate with some of the messages in the middle and the end cards, that's totally fine, and I want you guys to feel free to claim any and all messages that come out here. I also want to mention, if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, I'm also pretty active on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there too, so feel free to join me over there. And if you like the song at the very start of this video, you can listen to the full version over on my music channel. And you can also get merch with that floating temple on it. So all of that's going to be linked down below for you guys. Without further ado, let's get into the cards. Okay, group number 3s. Let's start off with a card for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle in your love life. We have 2 for you, so I'm going to take these together. We have the 6 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. Interesting. For those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, we have the Five of Swords. And then for those of you in the end of a cycle, we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so starting off with this beginning energy, there's a couple of different ways that I can interpret this, and I think it depends whether or not you already have someone on your mind, or you're already involved with someone or not. For those of you who are single but don't have a specific person on your mind, what I'm seeing is that things are going to be quite busy for you in the year 2023, because both of these cards can be an indication of that, especially like someone who is busy with their work, or someone who's busy with a major goal or several goals that they have. But wait, I can't remember if I already said this, but it's a very good kind of busy. I don't think I did, but I wanted to. This is a very, very good kind of busy. An example that I often give is like, let's say someone started a business and things have been really, really slow, but then all of a sudden, it's like overnight, suddenly they have like dozens of orders pouring in, or like they have a social media platform and all of a sudden like thousands of people are coming to their page. It's this feeling of like viral growth or sudden quick growth that the Eight of Wands gives me. And so yeah, it can be kind of overwhelming. We're definitely getting much busier. There's a little bit of pressure on us. There's a little bit of stress, but like it's good stress. It's healthy stress, because we're just adjusting to these changes, and the changes are very positive. It's our goals are being achieved. Our dreams are coming true. We're successful. So it's like, yeah, I'll take this busy energy. Like, I'm loving it. I'm busy, I'm booked and busy, and I'm loving it. Like, that's the kind of vibe that the Eight of Wands gives me. This could also be indicating, for those of you who are employees, this could be indicating you getting a promotion. It could also be moving up in school, like you're going to master's school or you're doing a PhD. It's like you're moving up and you're busier, but like it's awesome because you're living your dreams. And so the Six of Pentacles also gives me a feeling of like leveling up, and it's that feeling of balance. Like, yes, there's a bit more responsibility and there's a bit harder work going on, but we're also getting more rewards and we're getting more satisfaction. So it all like balances out nicely. And I'm hearing Spirit say, make time for love. And I think all of you guys can claim this message, but like, make time for love. It's reminding you, as excited as you might be about what's going on, it's important to keep balance. And it's so funny because like I was taking a little break between groups and just like, you know, scrolling on my phone, and there's a post about work-life balance that came up on my feed, and now we're reading about this. Spirit is saying, no matter how busy things might get, it is possible for you guys to keep balance in your life and like make time for dating or make time for love. And then for those of you who you do have someone in mind, I feel like both of you are going to be kind of busy. Like, you're making moves, you're doing things, you're living out your dreams, you're achieving your goals, both you and your person. And so there's this like mutual understanding that you have towards each other, and also a mutual support. And I think that you will both be flexible with each other. So for example, you know, maybe one week you're really busy and maybe you have to cancel sometimes, or you have to change plans, or maybe you've been a little bit quiet in the chat because you have other stuff going on. And they say, oh, that's okay, I understand. And then maybe the next week it's kind of the other way around, and then you're understanding towards them. And it's like you're both being flexible for each other, trying to fit time, trying to make it work. Like, even if we can only go for coffee like at 3:45 on Wednesday, like even if there's just that little window, let's try to make it work. Like, we're working together to find time in our busy schedules, and like it's all good because we're happy for each other and we're happy for ourselves. And you know, it's just temporary, right? Like, life goes in cycles. Things are gonna die down. Things are going to die down at some point. So That's the vibe. You guys are making moves, and if you have a person in mind, they're definitely making moves. If you don't have a person in mind, this is just Spirit's little reminder to like make time for yourself, make time to go out with your friends or go out on dates, because balance is really, really important. So moving on, for those of you who are in the middle of a cycle in your relationship, we have the Five of Swords. And I will be honest that this is kind of a challenging energy. I believe that this card is associated with Venus and Aquarius, which might be relevant. But this is a card that talks about disagreements, arguments, conflicts. So there could be some, and maybe we'll look into this later in the reading. I feel like this is kind of an energy that needs clarification, but this can be indicating either just like there's a bit more like bickering going on in the relationship, or it could be just a major thing that we're not on the same page with. And I think that the key to make it through this successfully, and this is also about balance. This is also about balance, because when I think of like Venus and Aquarius energy, the lovely thing about that energy is that it has the ability to kind of like zoom out and emotionally detach from the situation and look at things objectively. So, rather than reacting emotionally, getting carried away and saying stuff that we don't mean, we're able to like chill out, look at the situation objectively, not take things personally, and like listen to what the other person has to say. However, we don't want to be too detached, because that could hurt the other person. Like, it sucks when you're voicing a concern, or like you're voicing that something hurts you, and it seems like the other person doesn't really care. And I feel for the other person, because they might be detaching to avoid getting hurt. Like if you say, oh, it really hurts me when you do blah, 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 the other person could feel like they're being attacked and detach for that reason. Like they become aloof as a coping mechanism. So I think the advice for you guys with your person of interest or with your partner is to have a healthy level of emotional detachment where you can look at the situation objectively and not take things personally, but at the same time not detach so much from your partner or person's emotions that it comes off like what you're like saying is not important to me. The concern you're bringing up is not important to me, or the fact that you're upset is like whatever. We want to show like I care about you, I care about what you're saying, and I feel this way about it. Let's examine that. Let's observe that from an objective place. And that's definitely a tough balance to strike. If you guys are like me, I feel like this is something I'm working on, honestly, and I have gotten quite better at, but I had a tendency of like shutting down when I'm upset and just like not communicating and completely like shutting down, disappearing. And it's funny, now I'm remembering like a TikTok that I saw. It was someone like being Aquarius, and they were like, I'm sorry, I'm having an emotion, so I'm gonna have to shut down. So maybe this is a year where you or your person / partner is like overcoming that. We're learning how to not shut down when conflict arises. We're learning how to not like take things too personally. We're learning how to not lash out when we get emotional. And maybe you and your person have different habits that you're learning to work through, but I feel like Spirit might be presenting you with situations that bring about conflict and that bring about the two of you not seeing eye to eye, almost as like an opportunity to heal these harmful habits. It's almost like, it's kind of like when Spirit throws you in old patterns so that you can see how you've overcome it. So there might be things that lead to conflict, that lead to arguments, that lead to misunderstandings, but they're all opportunities for you to grow and to develop better communication skills and to see how you've progressed and how you've become better at identifying your emotions and voicing your emotions and handling them. So it's not just like challenges for the sake of challenges. It's like challenges to make you guys stronger. And I feel like, yeah, this is definitely not like a sugar-coated message, but it will lead to a stronger bond. The number 5 talks about change. So if you and your partner are both willing, and again, it's like, it's about balance. It's about compromising together. I think this is definitely an energy that can help you grow stronger. And then finally, for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, we have the Ace of Cups, which is so beautiful. This is very simple. I feel like this interpretation is going to be pretty short, but it's just Spirit letting you know that a happy new beginning is coming, that a new beginning full of love and emotional fulfillment is coming for you. I want to tell you guys, with the roses here, roses make me think of sensitivity. They make me think of like something that is delicate, and it looks very much like the rose that I decided to put out for this reading. But I guess Spirit wants you guys to keep honoring the part of you that feels deeply and that is sensitive, and that in this new beginning will be quite sentimental. And I just see you with someone, or with people in general, who really love how emotional you are and love how deep you are, and that's not a part of you that you have to change, and that's not a part of you that you have to suppress. With the rainbows here, when it comes to relationships, this makes me think of like showing your true colors, all of you, all the facets of you, and not changing. It could also be indicative of an LGBT relationship as well, like the Pride rainbow. And the Ace of Cups can also talk about self-care and like filling your own cup. So definitely, if you guys are at the end of the cycle, this would be Spirit encouraging you just to take time to yourself, care for yourself, like get back acquainted with yourself again and become your own best friend. And just trust that there's a happy new beginning coming for sure. The Ace of Cups is literally a card that indicates new love, new happiness, like falling in love with life again. So I can definitely say with a lot of confidence, I just looked up and saw 1441, which is a number that makes me think of home. And I feel like that's symbolizing coming back home to yourself. If some of you guys were thinking of moving back home, wherever that is for you, that might be a confirmation. And also like finding a person or finding people who feel like home to you. But what was I going to say? Just that I can say with a lot of confidence that this year is going to be very, very happy for you. So now we're going to take a look at some additional oracle cards to get a feel for the general energies of your year. So we have There Is Always a Way. Oh, wow. Humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. You Are Ready. Boundaries. You need to set better boundaries. Keep your energy balanced. There's so much themes of balance and protected. If needed, spend some time alone. It's okay to say no. We have Taurus. And stability. And this is actually for the end of the reading. I picked it up too soon. Okay, so, wow, I think that, okay, first of all, we have Taurus energy here. So you could be dealing with a Taurus person, or Taurus season could be significant. That's late April to late May, by the way. That could be a significant time of the year. Also with the number 23 right next to this, I'm thinking of April 23rd, because like that is a day that enters into Taurus season. That's a very specific date, but maybe it's someone's birthday, or like, I don't know, mark that day on your calendar because something might happen on that day. Also in that same way, this could be like March 4th or April 3rd, the number 34, June 8th or August 6th, because these came out together. But let's start with There Is Always a Way. I can definitely see how this applies to the previous messages that we've read. For example, this like busy energy with There Is Always a Way, I really feel like you and your person are like, if we want to see each other, we'll find a way to make it happen. And this is a really beautiful energy, because it's like, you're prioritizing each other, and it shows. Like, even if someone's really, really busy, they can make time to see you, or they can make time to check in on you. It's like, I will make the effort. I will do it. And same thing for those of you who, like, you might be bumping heads a little bit with your partner or your person, or like you want different things in life, or you're just on different pages with things. There is always a way. I mean, for this group, I want to say, whatever you're going through with your partner and your person, there is always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. There is a way to work things through. I'm noticing as well, these people look really similar in that they both have very light colored hair and they're wearing white clothing. So that could be like a trait of a special person in your life. They have light colored hair, whether it's natural or dyed, or just lighter than you, or maybe they wear light colored clothes. It's also kind of making me think of wedding, like a wedding dress. You could be meeting someone at a wedding, or you could be having a wedding or talking about a wedding. But I wanted to mention that kind of similar color scheme. But this is a message straight from your angels. This is a message from your angels that whatever it is you want in your love life, there's a way to make it happen. We can always find a way to make it happen. That's your angel's promise to you. So this is definitely a year, or just all the time, any year, that we want to be very open and very clear with what we want, and never feel like you're asking your angels or asking your spirit guides for too much, because the Ace of Cups is an overflowing cup. They not only want to fill your cup, they want it to be overflowing. And there's nothing, I always say this, or I say it a lot, like no wish, no request to your angels is too big or too small. They will always find a way, and we don't always know what that way is going to be, and we don't always have control over what that way is, but they will always find a way to bring it to us. And I feel like with You Are Ready, whatever you guys are trying to manifest in your love life, you are ready for it. Like at this point, right now, when you're watching this reading, like you are emotionally, spiritually, personality-wise, maturity-wise, all of that, you are the version of you that is a match to the love that you want. Like you are ready. Even if you're still a work in progress, which we all freaking are, you are perfect and you're ready to claim your desires. And I feel like this could be a really, really nice affirmation for you guys. Like, I am ready. I'm ready for this change. I'm ready to accept these blessings. Absolutely. With Taurus and stability here, these are very, very similar energies, because Taurus is literally the sign of stability and security. So wherever you're at in your love life, you're either in something very stable, or you are like gonna develop something very, very stable. No matter how busy you are or your person is, you're definitely going to be consistently in each other's lives. No matter what like disagreements you might have, trust that your connection is rock solid. Taurus is like the most freaking solid sign. It's the stubborn bull. It does not budge. It's Earth, which is the most dense of the elements, and it's fixed. Fixed Earth. That's the most like rock hard. So just trust that you're safe, and that you are in a stable place in your love life. So no matter what comes your way, it's going to be okay. Like these energies are just temporary. They're absolutely just temporary. And with humor here, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. I think it's important. This is reminding me of a spirit, or like a soul, you know, just bright and gold and laughing and happy. And it's funny because I feel like sometimes in readings, I give the advice of like, ground yourself, come back to your human self. But for this group, I actually think that the opposite advice applies, of like zooming out and looking at things from the perspective of your soul. And like, why might my soul have chosen this experience? What is this teaching me? I feel like zooming out like that often helps us to take the situation less seriously. When we see things from our limited human perspective, things can feel like such a huge deal. Things can feel like the end of the world. But what happens when we zoom out is that we remember the eternal soul that we are, and we remember how intrinsically connected we are to every being on this planet, that we are literally the same infinite intelligence, that we are all the same source of love. And then our human issues become not irrelevant, not unimportant, but they become blessings, because we recognize them as something that serves our expansion, that serves our growth. And then we can, once we zoom out and remember that, we can go back to being a human with a refreshed perspective and start making our choices from love, and start making our choices from that deep knowing that everything's going to be okay as long as we act with love. And that, like, I guess that it's just not the end of the world, and that we don't have to take things so seriously. It's like when you come back to love, everything's okay. Yeah, this can also be indicating meeting someone with an awesome sense of humor, or with the same sense of humor as you, or like any troubles that you have with your person. It's almost like if we just lighten up a bit. Like, I feel like these are not so serious, because if they were like really serious challenges, I feel like this would be a major arcana. These are just like little disagreements, little bickerings, things like that. And if we just lighten up a little bit, I feel like a lot of it can be solved. And then finally, we have boundaries here. You need to set better boundaries, keep your energy balanced and protected. If needed, spend some time alone. It's okay to say no. This is definitely similar to that energy of filling your cup. I also think this could be a year, and I'm going to extend this to like all relationships, not just romantic ones, that we're being a lot more selective about who we give our time to. I'm getting like Queen of Swords vibes from this group. Like we're really just interested in like investing in relationships that we see a long-term future, that we see contribute to our growth, and we contribute to their growth. You could be spending more time alone this year because you're just genuinely really enjoying your company. Or if that's already something you do, I see that continuing in 2023. I also feel like reminding this group that wanting to rest, or just like not wanting to do something, is a good enough reason to say no. So you're allowed to say like, oh no, I don't really feel like going out today, but thanks for inviting me. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I can't, I have this thing, I have to do this. Like, you're allowed to just say no because you want your time to yourself, or like something's not really your thing. And even like whether this is with your partner or whether this is with people you're dating, set your boundaries, you know? Like, I don't know, this is just an example. Like, oh no, I don't feel comfortable with you like coming to pick me up at my house because like we just met each other and I don't want you to know where I live. Like, let's meet in public. Let's meet at this place, rather than being like, oh, I don't want to say that because like maybe it's going to make them feel bad, or I don't know, whatever. Maybe that was a weird example, but like, you know, not disregarding your boundaries and disregarding your comfort because you don't want to like inconvenience someone else or like make someone else feel bad. We're sticking to our guns and we're sticking to our boundaries, even if it's with your partner. So yeah, these are the general energies that I see. So let's move on to the next tarot deck. We're going to use the True North Tarot for this part of the reading. And in this part, we're going to see a chronological sequence of events in your love life. Okay, so we're starting off with, oh, Six of Coins. So it's the same as the first card that came out for the Moonchild. Six of Coins, Eight of Coins. The World. the Lovers. And then at the bottom of the deck, and this represents the where you'll be by the end of the year. There, that's what I wanted to say. We have the Two of Wands. So there's so much imagery of like balance and partnerships. We have the number 6 here, which is like harmony, love, reciprocity. We have the number 8 with like the hammer and screwdriver working together. We have the World with the 2 hands. We have the Lovers with the 2 faces. And then we have the Two of Wands. So there's very, very strong imagery of partnerships here. And you are coming out of the year 2023 with a very special partnership. But what's interesting in this group compared to the other ones is that Spirit is saying this partnership can be anything that you want it to be. Like it can be any format that you want it to be, any label that you want it to be, any dynamic that you want it to be. I do see that there's like a significant person throughout this year, but by the end of the year, you might choose to be married, to be in a committed relationship, to be in an open relationship, or to be friends. Like what label is on this, or what type of relationship this is, or like the terms and conditions of your relationship is very, very much up to you. And because this is like freedom, and this is your independence, and this is your individuality. I feel like by the end of the year, it's like you and your person kind of might be on different paths in your life. And it's like, you're still together and you still have a lot of love for each other, but it's like, you might not spend as much time together, or you're just kind of like, I feel like you guys both really have your own dreams and have your own goals, and you're allowed to define your relationship however makes sense for where you're at in life right now. So you might be kind of changing or reinventing the dynamic that you have with your person. Or if you're entering into a new relationship, like you could kind of be like reinventing what you are to each other, or it's just like free, however you want to label it. There's just, I guess Spirit's saying like to just experience the connections freely and not worry so much about where it's going, and not worry so much about the labels, and just enjoy that you have each other and just enjoy each other's presence. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with this Two of Wands. But you're definitely in some kind of significant partnership, and there's definitely like a significant person and a significant couple coming through. So I think that an overall theme for this year is putting in efforts. It's like we're putting in efforts to things that are worth the effort. So into ourselves, into our partnerships, into our work. This is a year that's going to require work in all the things that you do, but it's very rewarding work. It's fulfilling work. It makes you happy. It's not like stressful work. It's not difficult work. It's not heavy. It's work that really makes you feel good and really makes you feel like you're growing and you're working together with this person, working on yourselves together, working on each other, working towards your dreams. I would say like the theme for you guys this year is like it's worth the effort. And the situation that you're in, like Spirit is saying, it does need work. Like if you're working on yourself and your self-love and becoming your own best friend, that's going to require effort. If you're working to resolve conflicts with your person, that requires effort. If you're working to, prioritize and make time for each other, that requires effort. But because both people are putting in equal amounts of effort, like it feels good and it works. There's always a way. You'll always be able to work through whatever it is that life throws your way. So, and I feel like this is starting right from the beginning of the year. I think we had March come through as an important, we had March, and we also had Taurus season. Aries and Taurus season, I think it was, which are like right next to each other. So that's like late March to late May. So in the beginning of the year, I think that's when we're going to get into this energy. Where we're working together, we're putting in effort. And then with the World here, this is a card that talks about fulfillment. It talks about accomplishments, achievements, and also I think like feeling on top of the world. So I think that there is this feeling of fruition. I think like halfway through the year, there's a feeling of like what we've been working towards has come to fruition. So for example, you've put in a lot of work on yourself and now you're ready to like step back out into the world and you're ready to embrace your new happy beginning. Or like we've resolved our conflicts and now we feel really, really good and we feel even stronger. Or like we've made it through this really busy period and now we're free and we have more time and we can really start like engaging in this relationship the way we want to and like spending a bunch of time together. There's also something halfway through the year that something is being announced or something is becoming official. So this could be you becoming official in your relationship. This could be you and your person making a special announcement to like your family and friends. This could be you meeting each other's family and friends. There's something about your relationship that is becoming more official, that is becoming more known. And with the World, this is a very aspirational energy. So this indicates to me that your family and friends are very proud of you, of your accomplishments, of the relationship you're in. And also some people in your life might like aspire to be like you. But it's funny because all this hard work comes before, right? So I feel like this is one of those cases where like, yeah, you're seeing the finished product and you're aspiring to it, but you don't see necessarily all of the hard work that came before that. So like, for example, let's say there's this couple and they're like super lovey-dovey and like they have so much love for each other. They're so supportive of each other. They have amazing communication. They're successful. And people look at that and they're like, oh my God, that's couple goals. I want to find someone like that. And you're like, thank you for appreciating my relationship, but like we didn't just get lucky finding each other, or like it didn't just magically get like this. We had to knock some walls down. We had to put in a lot of work to be able to communicate so well like this. We had to put in a lot of work to like work past our differences, you know? I feel like this is you guys embracing that your dreams, yes, your dreams are sunshine and rainbows, but there's also parts of realizing your dreams that are not a walk in the park, but you willingly do it because at the end of the day, your love is so great. And I think the fact that people are looking at your partnership or your relationship being like, oh my God, it's so perfect. Like you guys are so lucky. It's just a testament to how hard you've worked and how effortless you've made it look, because like you've put so much like work into the connection that it just like, it's second nature now. So this is the feeling of like fulfillment. Sure, there might be cycles, seasons of your relationship in the future where you have to put a bit more work, but because you've laid down the groundwork, it feels like things are just so much easier now. So like, I think halfway through the year, around the midpoint, that's when you're going to be really feeling on top of the world, really, really peaceful with each other, spending time together in the way you want to, as much as you want to, and the people around you being like, oh, look at this happy couple. You guys are so amazing. With the World, you could also be traveling together with your person, or if you are in a long distance relationship, this could indicate the moment where you meet physically for the first time, or you finally end up living in the same place. Yeah, because I could even see that like, oh, you guys are so lucky. It's like, yeah, we might look lucky now, but we had to make long distance work for 3 years like before we could get here. And being in long distance really challenged us because we had to trust each other. We had to put in extra efforts to communicate. We had to deal with the feeling of like discouragement if we're ever going to end up together. But it's like, yeah, take those praises and take those, you guys look amazing, because it's just a testament to like, it's just a testament to how easy you've made it look. That's just like the vibe that I'm getting. And then with the Lovers, this is definitely just representing like very, very deep intimacy. It's like when you've been through so much together, you develop a special bond that that can't be replicated. Like you've created this bond with time. You've created this bond by pouring energy into each other. You've created this bond by so much communication, so much time spent like making effort, trying to understand each other. It's like you've made a bond that is, it's like, I know this sounds dramatic, but it's like, it's impossible to replicate. You're like deeply connected now. If you weren't soulmates with this person before, I feel like you will be after this lifetime, because like soul connections have to start somewhere, right? If you had past lives with someone, like you had a first life together. So maybe this is like, you're after this, you're like, yeah, let's stay together. Like let's keep incarnating together. This was nice. Like we grew a lot. We developed a really, really deep connection. That's awesome. This snake is making me think of Kundalini awakening. You might go through like a very powerful awakening with your person, or go through a very intense spiritual experience with your person that really bonds you, because like no one else can understand it. Like a really deep psychic experience, a really deep like paranormal experience that you go through together, and it's like between the two of you. But yeah, like your bond cannot be matched. This can also indicate a very, very strong physical and sexual connection, if that is your thing. It's like after everything you've been through, you just develop such a passion, like such a, I'm getting a little bit, it's funny because usually when I'm reading this kind of energy, I feel like shy or awkward, but I'm like into it. This is like really, really strong passion. I'm like excited for you guys. Wow. If you're not like a sexual person, the energy that you've cultivated with this person could really fuel your creative pursuits, because sexual energy is just, it's creative energy, it's passion, it's the same. It just depends how we choose to channel it. But yeah, if you are sexual, definitely all this is really strengthening that bond, and that's also something that would be impossible to replicate. It's like you can read each other's minds, and it's just like raw passion. So that's something to look forward to in the second half of the year. And then yeah, we have the Two of Wands, which we already spoke about. I love that there's wheat on this. I think that's wheat anyway, but it looks like crops, and that makes me think of harvest, and that makes me think that your work is paying off and the world is your oyster. And again, there's that, like, you're free to define your relationship however you want. Because no matter what, you're going to be in each other's lives. No matter what, you're going to love each other, and you're going to be a constant in each other's lives. Okay, so finally, let's take a look at our messages and advice from Spirit. This is an Aphrodite card that I got too excited and tried to take out earlier. Lady of the Earth. My beautiful child, as the goddess of Venus, I also rule over Taurus. So there's some Taurus energy going on, which is an earth sign. Now is the time to connect with this aspect and be more grounded. Being in nature would benefit you right now. It's so funny. I was just thinking today how much I want to go in nature. I feel like for those of you who do, no, this is for all of you, no matter what you resonate with. Being in nature could be a great way for you to unwind. Maybe don't be like me and take breaks on your phone in between piles. Not that that's a bad thing, but I feel like Spirit is saying for you, the best way for you to unwind and take a break is to be outside and be in nature. That's like the quickest and most effective way to recharge your energy. Nature could also be a very welcoming place for you if you need time to process your thoughts, process your feelings, calm down after a heated event. And it could also be a wonderful place to come back home to yourself, like sitting in nature and remembering that you are a part of this beautiful, living, breathing earth. You are one with it. And because of that, you are beautiful. And there's this perfect, divine elaborateness, I think is the word, intricacy to your being. Spend time in nature is basically the message of this. We also have unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. Be vulnerable. Vulnerability is strength. Lay your cards out on the table, reveal the true you. Keep your mind and heart open. There is no need to protect yourself. And I put a little asterisk here because we have boundaries. When you're with your loved ones, when you're with your right people, there is no need to protect yourself. And even more so then, this is making me think of like being selective, you know? I'm kind of getting Scorpio vibes now because I feel like Scorpio energy is quite selective about who they open up to and who they're vulnerable around. But then once they do open up, they have so much depth to them. So there's a lesson about, we're not learning to close off, but just to be selective about when we open up. And then when we do open up, to open up like we mean it and to open up with all our heart. And then finally, we have relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. So that's interesting. I feel like these kind of have a similar message. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past. These remind me of the Judgment card in tarot, which is also Scorpio energy. Because Taurus and Scorpio have come up so much, this could also be indicating that you, and I just saw 4343, so maybe this is a confirmation that you and your person are sister signs. So like Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio, Gemini and Sag, Cancer and Capricorn, Leo and Aquarius, Virgo and Pisces. Those are the pairs of sister signs, but they're signs that are opposite from each other. But anyway, I was saying that this reminds me of the energy of the Judgment card. So, you know, judgment, what am I trying to say? It takes a lot of courage and strength to recognize that you need to change. But at the same time, it's not about regretting the past or being mean to our past self. So let's say we recognize a way, like I'll use myself as an example. I recognize a way that I was sabotaging myself because when I was upset, I would shut down and I would kind of rob myself of the opportunity to open up and be vulnerable and communicate what's wrong and like understand each other better. I would just shut down and like expect the other person to read my mind. And that's not healthy and it's not helpful. So it takes strength for me to recognize like, okay, I'm doing something that's not very good. But at the same time, there's no need for me to then go and say like, oh my gosh, I'm being so stupid, like, and beat myself up for having this bad habit. Or there's no reason for me now to, well, I still do it, so it's not really the past me, but I'm trying my best. And, you know, there's no need for me to look back at my past self and say like, oh my God, she was so dumb. Like, I can't believe I used to do that and like beat up the past me. If I learned my lesson, then there's no need to regret and there's no need to be ashamed of that past version of myself. In fact, we should send our past selves love because they were doing their best. They were doing their best with what they knew. They were doing their best with the baggage that they had. And our past self went through what they went through so that we could be the strong person that we are today. So if anything, we should show them gratitude and we should show them gentleness. And, you know, even with boundaries, like, maybe you look back on times where you had really, really poor boundaries, where you ignored your comfort to please someone else. Like, I can't believe I let so many exes do XYZ to me, or I can't believe I kept sacrificing my comfort for these people on dating apps. Like, I can't believe I let them take advantage of me like that. Like, it's okay to be angry for your past self, but I think Spirit is saying to not look at your past self and be like, oh my God, like, I was so stupid, or, you know, to like berate your past self. We don't want to do that. We can be angry for them and say like, I'm really upset that those people did that to me. And, you know, I'm sad for the past version of me that they thought it was okay to let that happen, but I'm not going to beat myself up. I learned from the experience and now I take better care of myself, I guess is what I want to say with that. Yeah. So my group number 3s. These are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys... Sorry, I'm like... some burps, burp bubbles. This song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3s, I'm sending so much love to you, to anyone that you're involved with this year and in the past, present, and future, and to all your spirit guides and your spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the red rose scented candle, this is going to be your reading. All about your love life in the year 2023. So I want to start off this reading by getting some personalized messages for you guys. So I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Moonchild Tarot, and there will be different messages for you based on where you're at in your love life. There's going to be 1 card for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, the middle of a cycle, and the end of a cycle. And it's really up to you where you feel like you're at, but just for some examples, if you're in the beginning of a cycle, maybe you're single and looking to meet someone new, maybe you've just met someone, or you have just entered into a new relationship. The middle of a cycle might be you've been into the same person for quite some time, you've been with the same person in a relationship for quite some time, and the end of a cycle could be something like you've just gotten out of a relationship, you are considering to get out of a relationship, or you are in a separation of some kind. But with that being said, I do want you guys to feel free to claim any and all of the messages here. So like, even if you are at the beginning of a cycle, if you resonate with some of the messages in the other parts, you're very, very welcome to claim those too, whatever feels right for you. And I also want to mention, if you guys enjoy the content on this channel, I'm also quite active on Instagram. I'm posting pick a card readings there as well, so feel free to join me there too. And if you enjoyed the song at the intro of this video, you can listen to the full version over on my music channel, and you can also get merch with the floating temple on it from the intro. All that's linked below. So, okay, let's give you guys one more shuffle. And then we will get into your personalized messages. So we're starting off with those in group number 4 who are at the beginning of a cycle in their love life. And we have the Hanged Man. And as I'm showing you guys this card, the camera timer is at 2:22. For those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, we have Justice. And for those of you who are at the end of a cycle, we have the 7 of Swords. Okay, so I'm going to go through these in order, but the first thing that I want to mention is that we have Pisces energy here with the Hanged Man, and we have Libra energy here with Justice, and then the 7 of Swords is something in Gemini, I want to say. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's something in Aquarius, and it will come to me in a second. I think it is the moon in Aquarius. I'll put a subtitle if I'm wrong, but no, I'm pretty sure it's the moon. So Pisces people, Libra people, or Aquarius moons could be significant to you guys in the year 2023. Or this could also be indicating that Aquarius, Pisces, and Libra seasons of this year will be significant times in your love life. So that would be late January to late March, as well as late September to late October. Okay, so starting with the Hanged Man, for those of you who are at the beginning of a cycle, I am seeing some slow and stagnant energy here. The Hanged Man, when we get this energy, there's not much going on, and we sort of feel like we are left hanging or that we are left waiting, and there's not much we can do when we're hanging here. So all we really feel that we can do is to try to understand why we're here and to try to make the best of the situation. So I'm assuming if you are here, if you are watching a reading about your love life, you are wanting some developments to happen. You're wanting your love life to move in a certain direction. And with the Hanged Man here, there is a feeling that it could take some time for your love life to pick up in the year 2023. So for example, if you guys are single and you are looking to meet someone new, this could be a situation where you're not really manifesting any new meetings, or maybe you're going on dates and it's just not really panning out. Or if you do have a person of interest, it seems like things aren't really moving with them. And more specifically with this energy, it feels like not only have you been trying to manifest something, but it's like maybe you keep hearing that something's gonna happen soon. Like you keep getting this message, or you keep seeing signs and synchronicities, or you keep like having dreams that something's gonna happen. Because with this feeling of being left hanging, there's like a feeling of kind of like a carrot dangling in front of you, you know, like I think it's you dangle it in front of a horse or something, but it's that feeling of like so close but so far away. I think that's what I want to say. So this could be from a spiritual perspective, like the signs and synchronicities you're receiving. Like I keep getting the message I'm gonna meet someone, I keep seeing signs, but like where is it? It feels like it's taking time. Or like if you have a specific person, you know, things that they say or do could make it seem like we're getting somewhere, and then it's just more silence, or and then it's just more like it's more stagnancy. That's not to say that you will never get like the outcome that you want. It just feels like it will take some time. And what's really important to remember with the Hanged Man is that there's always a reason why we're here. There's always a reason why we are where we are. And it's not because like our manifestation is not working. It's not because the universe wants to withhold anything from us. Wherever you are right now is a very specific point on the map of your soul. It's a very specific point on your journey. And I promise that you are growing in the ways you're supposed to be growing. You're learning and experiencing the things that you are meant to be learning and experiencing right now. And everything you're going through right now is preparing you to become the version of you who will then finally align with your person. Because what I'm seeing for you guys is that you're not just manifesting anybody, like you're manifesting your dream person, you're manifesting your soulmate, or you're manifesting a really beautiful, healthy match for you. And so the universe is going to take their time with that. This is like you've put in your order to the universe, and this is a very special order, and this is a very big order, and the universe wants to really take their time and make a careful, elaborate plan for you. And that's what this journey is. It's a very big, elaborate journey for you, and every minute is intentional. Every minute that the universe has prepared for you is intentional. So the message of the Hanged Man is to try to look at things from another perspective. You know, if we're always, and I'm not saying this is you, but like if we're always looking through our life in the lens of like one aspect or one thing that we want to happen, we could be missing out on so much. Like let's say I really, really want to get married. And so every day, every single thing I do, I'm like, is this going to manifest my spouse? Is this going to manifest my spouse? Where's my spouse? Where's my spouse? Like, and I'm looking at everything in my life through that lens. I'm missing out on so much. This is about like stepping back and looking at your life from another perspective. Like maybe it's the focus is just not on that right now, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's never going to come, but there's a time for it. And right now my focus is on something else. So it's kind of like making the best of your present moment and understanding that you're meant to be exactly where you are, and everything will come in due time. That's kind of the message of the Hanged Man. So moving on For the energy, for those of you who are in the middle of a cycle, we have Justice, and this is a very, very beautiful energy. This is the sign of Libra. This is the 7th house of partnerships, and we have the beautiful scales, which indicate balance, reciprocity. I feel like, okay, you and your person, your specific person, or your significant other, or your spouse, wherever you're at, this is kind of a specific message, but it's like, I feel like you guys are going to be living a little bit more lavish in 2023, or being a little bit more elegant or a little bit more formal together. That doesn't mean that you have to spend more money, but it's like maybe you're creating more romantic, like luxurious atmospheres together. This could be, I mean, you're really free to do whatever you want with this energy, but this could be anything from like going to an expensive restaurant if you want to and have the budget for it, going to a fancy hotel for a staycation, or it could be like eating breakfast in bed together, taking a bubble bath together, like getting each other flowers. It's like you're being more romantic, you're being more lavish, and I feel like you're really enjoying like doing acts of service for each other and spoiling each other. The mutual appreciation is just really, really growing. That's what I feel from this. I also feel like the two of you could be a little bit more like social butterflies this year, going out to events together, going out on like double dates with your friends, going out to bars together, going to parties. Yeah, like you're out and about, and you're both looking very good this year. I don't know if you're like working on something, working on your appearance, or if you're probably just already like that. But I think that, you know, other people are definitely going to find you guys to be a very attractive couple, and you will certainly be finding each other very, very attractive. This is just like beautiful reciprocated energy, and all I can really say from this is that I think you're enjoying each other's company a lot. And this is also, some of you guys, if you haven't reached this stage yet, you're reaching a stage where you can be completely honest with each other. You've really mastered the art of calling each other out, of giving each other constructive criticism, and it doesn't feel like a jab, or it doesn't feel like you have to be defensive, because you've really established this strong foundation with each other of like, we're each other's best friend, we're on the same team, and if I'm telling you something, it's because I love you. So like you're being very open and very honest with each other, and I think your communication is improving a lot this year. So that's a very beautiful energy. Moving on, we have the 7 of Swords for those of you who are at the end of a cycle. So maybe you have come out of a relationship with someone, you're in a separation, and I have to tell you guys, with this 7 of Swords energy, it does seem like Spirit is saying whether it's like your ex or the person you're in a no contact situation with, whoever it might be, it's this message of like they're not who you think they are, or they weren't being 100% honest with you. They may have been adopting certain behaviors or certain personality traits because they just thought that that's what you wanted them to be, and kind of made you fall in love with an inauthentic version of them. The 7 of Swords can also indicate that there is maybe some sneaky behavior going on. If you ever felt suspicious, or if you ever got a bad feeling from like something that this person was doing on their phone, or something involving social media, or when they told you, oh, I was here, I was with so-and-so, but you just kind of felt like, I don't know about that, this could be confirming that, you know, this person was not always truthful with you. And I think that Spirit is letting you know this because, first of all, to confirm your suspicions, especially if this person made you feel like crazy for suspecting certain things, or like made you feel like it was your fault for not trusting them, or like how could you, and then you end up apologizing to them, confirming to you that you were valid in having those concerns, or having like kind of having that feeling in the back of your mind. And also, I think because you're at the end of a cycle, this is helping you kind of move on from this person, because if you're missing certain aspects of them or like certain memories of them, Spirit's kind of saying like that wasn't really genuine anyway, that wasn't authentic anyway, so you're not really missing, and it sounds kind of harsh, but like you're not really missing much. No offense to them, or maybe offense to them, I don't know how you feel about them, but if it came to an end, I think it's because it was meant to. It's like a good riddance kind of situation. And I think that you're going to notice moving into your next cycle that your intuition is getting much stronger, because you don't have this presence around you that is denying your intuition or like trying to make you doubt your intuition. Like these crescent moons to me represent intuition. But one of her eyes is covered. So it's like, it's not that your intuition was weakening. It's just that it's like there was someone around you who you would feel something intuitively and they're like, no, that's not it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I would never do that. Or like, that wasn't my intention. But your intuition knows damn well like what their intention really was. But then you're like, oh, okay, well, if they say that, I guess you're right. I'm sorry. And so it's like, you might have a breakup or a separation with the person, but you're having a makeup and a reunion with your intuition, and it feels really, really nice. You're like, I knew you were right, and like hugging your intuition, and now you're going to take it with you, and like, I'll never doubt you again. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from this. So this is like all a lesson, I think, to trust your intuition. So let's move on now to some further oracle cards to take a look at the general energies of the year, regardless of where you feel like you're at. So we have Be Authentic. Interesting. Masks are coming off. Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Honest conversations. Wow. I'm getting Virgo vibes as well from this group. Influencing factors. There are influencing factors at play regarding your love life. Money issues can play a role, as well as a career change and foreign countries and cultures. Then we have Pisces. So that's double Pisces. And then we have Big Kiss. Aw, I love this. Like number 2, that's the number of the High Priestess. And it's like you're honoring your intuition. Okay, so be authentic here. I think that's really telling and a very strong message to come out after we've spoken about the Seven of Swords. And I think that this can apply to any situation that you guys might be in, because what you guys are really bringing in, or what like the type of connection you're stepping into, is one that is very genuine, is one, like we even spoke about that with justice, like honesty, integrity, sincerity. Spirit's like, I'm not just lining you up with just anyone, like I'm lining you up with a really quality person, a really down-to-earth person, a really genuine person. And I feel like this is the same for friendships as well. I guess, well, yeah, the main focus of all these groups today has been like romantic love, but I actually want to say for this group as well, like this is an energy that can be going on in your friendships as well, like being real with each other and being able to have constructive talks, even if they're kind of difficult, even if you have to call them out or call yourself out. We're just being vulnerable and we're taking the masks off. And I think that's what health is talking about as well, like having a truly healthy relationship with your person. And I would say to the Seven of Swords and to the Hanged Man energy that if anyone's like not showing up, or if anyone has left your life, Spirit was removing an unhealthy or inauthentic connection from your life and making room for this to enter your life. So health is definitely speaking of you guys manifesting healthy relationships. This card is kind of giving it the spin of, you know, taking care of your physical health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. If you're feeling like love and relationships is kind of stagnant right now, this could be an indication that where you're at in your journey right now, the focus is meant to be on like your physical health, your body image, your daily routines, self-care, things of that nature, like taking care of you and taking care of your body, getting into a good routine, getting into a good diet, befriending and showing gratitude to your body. Those kinds of things could be like the main theme right now, or the main thing to focus on. Kind of specific message, but this could indicate meeting someone at the gym, or like in the doctor's office, or maybe you guys are like med students and you'll meet someone at school or something like that. Or yeah, like in a fitness class or running in the park or something like that. Or at Whole Foods. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, yeah, this could also be like if you're in a relationship, or like if you're seeing someone, you could be going on like a health journey together and like supporting each other and, you know, keeping each other accountable. And then, yeah, honest conversations, we've spoken about that as well. Maybe you're having an honest conversation about like, we need to get healthy, like whether it's physically, mentally, like we got to work on this. Because I feel like this openness and honesty that you're cultivating with your person, it's not just about like the easy fun things, it's also about the things that are kind of difficult to talk about. And like we even have, you know, this is talking about money issues and like work and things like that. And I feel like, you know, talking about money, it can be a sensitive topic. Like maybe you and your partner need to have an honest conversation about your spending habits, or maybe like you're planning for your long-term future together, and so you're talking about your retirement and like your savings account and things of that nature. If you're in a relationship, you and your partner could be planning to make a really big purchase, such as a home or I don't know, something else, and you have to kind of have a talk about that. We need to be a little bit more disciplined, or even about your health. Like, I don't know, just for an example, like, I really want you to quit smoking, or, you know, something like that. Which maybe it's kind of hard topic to have, or maybe it's not, I don't know, but we're just having these kind of open and honest conversations, I think. Oh, and with Pisces as well, you know, we've spoken about a lot of practical themes, but Pisces is something that is more abstract, more hard to put your finger on, more floaty. There's definitely a theme of like authenticity and improving communication. So whether you're doing this on your own or doing this with a partner, I think that you're really getting in touch with your emotions and finding, you know, because there's some emotions that are really hard to put your finger on, and they're really hard to describe. Not just the feeling, but like why it's there, or what the feeling is asking for, what we need to do to meet this need. Those can be kind of abstract things. So you could be doing this work again on your own or with someone else, but it's like we're figuring out how to put all of that into words and honor those emotions. With Big Kiss, this could, yeah, I feel like that matches that romantic energy, you know, being very cuddly together, being very physically affectionate together, being physically intimate. You could be meeting someone or getting with someone who is a very, very good kisser, although when I was looking at the mouth, like, that was not the first thing that I thought of, but just, you know, they have a nice mouth. Yeah. And yeah, I think that this is really just talking about like physical affection, physical intimacy, and Pisces is talking about really getting into the depths of our emotions. Okay, so let's move on to the next tarot deck now. We're going to use the True North Tarot for this part. And so in this part of the reading, we're going to look at a chronological sequence of events in your love life this year. Okay, so we're starting off with the Empress. We have, okay, 2 cards coming out together. We have the Devil and the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Cups. And then we have the 4 of Swords. Okay, there's a lot of 4s. Three out of 4 4s appeared in this reading. And then wow. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the 10 of Swords. So this is a very clear message, but there was another group that was like this. I think it was group 2, where like energetically it's very clear what's happening, but like the way it plays out in the 3D could be different. So I'll do my best to, oh, it's Shibuya. And I actually knew that, but I just forgot. I think it is at least. Yeah, it's Center Guide. Okay, so yeah, and I forget what this building is called, but I knew there was a Shibuya card in here. Anyway, there's also a Shinjuku card in here. So we have Taurus and Libra energy with the Empress. We have Capricorn energy with the Devil. And yeah, I'll mention the minor arcana as well. So this would be Venus in Aries. This would be the Moon in Cancer. This would be something in Libra. I think it's Jupiter in Libra. And then this would be, I always forget this one, but it's the Sun or the Moon in Gemini. Okay, so with the Empress here, the year's kicking off for you guys with a big, beautiful blessing. A big, beautiful blessing. I want to say in general, the vibe for you guys is that you're glowing. So I don't know, you guys are going through some kind of physical, not transformation, but like the natural beauty that was already there for you is like being enhanced in some way. You're just radiant, you're just glowing. Maybe you're just aging like a fine wine, or maybe it's like confidence. You've started to present yourself, like put a little bit more effort into your looks and just present yourself with more confidence. And anyway, you're beautiful, you're radiant, you're glowing from the inside out. And I also think that you guys are, something positive with your health is happening at the beginning of this year. Like you could be reaching a health or fitness goal. You could be recovering from some type of illness, pain, like chronic pain, low energy levels, like something in your health is improving. It could be your skin, your hair, your brain, all of the above, your joints. You're just feeling good. You're feeling healthy, you're feeling vibrant, and you're just so beautiful and radiant. So you're in an amazing energy at the beginning of this year. A lot of you guys, there could be a really significant like victory at work, or like a really big opportunity coming to you at the beginning of the year. And I mean like really at the beginning. And maybe even that Aquarius Pisces energy that we were getting is indicating that time, like February, March, especially March with the number 3 here. Like this is happening early on. And this is kind of a heads up. Like this doesn't have to happen. I think Spirit is just warning about the possibility of this. The 4 of Cups that we have here, you see how like there's 3 upright cups and there's 1 spilled cup. So the 4 of Cups talks about dissatisfaction, and it also talks about like something that we're not seeing. So this energy is coming through to me as like, as if you're focusing on this 1 spilled cup. So to use myself as an example, this would be like, and I actually do this sometimes. So if I put out a video and there's like 500 positive comments and there's 1 negative comment, this would be like me just focusing on that 1 negative comment and letting it like ruin my day. and just ignoring all the other positive stuff. And so this something that I'm not seeing is, you know, all the love that surrounds me and everything that I have to be grateful for. And it's nothing, there's no like judgment in that, because I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that brains have like a bias to look for negative things. At least I've heard that somewhere, but maybe it's just, you know, TikTok trivia. That might not be true. But anyway, there's no reason to be ashamed of that. I guess the brain like looks for anomalies, right? Like if your whole body feels fine, but your pinky finger hurts like crazy, you're probably going to focus on your pinky finger, because it's like the thing that's standing out. It's the thing that needs to be fixed. So maybe it's that same thing, like that one negative comment, man, or like this one thing in my life that's not going right. So this is kind of the vibe I'm seeing. It's like you're thriving, but there's maybe like one thing in your life that's not going right, or I shouldn't say not going right, but not going how you think it should be going, and then you just focus on that. So this can go in a couple of different ways, depending on your love life situation. So for example, like this Hanged Man person, if you're single and like you really want to manifest meeting someone new, or you really want to end up with your specific person, we've kind of seen that things are moving pretty slowly in that regard. So this would be like you're killing it at work, you're doing something that you love for a living, your friendships are amazing, your skin is clear, your nails are strong and healthy, like you have a beautiful family and a beautiful dog and like a beautiful house, like you have all this stuff going for you, but you're just not with your specific person, or like you just haven't met someone yet. And so it's like you have all this wonderful stuff in your life, but you're just like, when am I going to meet someone? When am I going to meet someone? When am I going to meet someone? And again, we're not saying that you're bad for doing that, but it's just getting in the way of happiness, all the happiness that you could be experiencing right now. And then for those of you who are with someone, I feel it would just be the other way around. Like, or maybe there's like so many things going right in your relationship, but you're focusing on like that one part of the relationship that needs work. Or things are going kind of bad at work, and then you just focus on that a lot, and then it puts a strain on your relationship. So it's like, you see, it can play out in many different ways, but the main energy of it is Spirit saying like you have 99 things to be grateful for, and one little thing that is not exactly how you want it, and your brain, because it's not you, it's your ego, it's the devil, honestly, is convincing you that like you can't be happy yet. Like you can only be happy when all 100 things line up. And that's what the Four of Wands and the Devil is talking about. I'm like, you guys need, for some reason, I want to bring out, where is it? I don't know, aventurine is really calling to me. I'll put it here. Yeah, this is what the Four of Wands and the Devil is, because the Four of Wands talks about joy, contentment, happy home life, happy friendships, happy community, like you're living out your calling, or you're really like well on your way to it, to a life that's really fulfilling. It's just like pure joy and contentment. And then the Devil is that voice in your head that tells you you can't have this, you don't deserve this, you're not good enough. That this is like that negative bias that our brain has. That's what the Devil is. And the Devil is like kind of trying to mess with your Four of Wands, but you don't have to let the Devil win. The Devil, like, you're over here and your soul is over here like, oh, look at my beautiful urns, they're so nice. And the Devil comes up like, yeah, but there's one spilled. Look at that one spilled urn. And just tries to keep putting all of your focus there. But when you realize that you are this Empress, and that you have this Four of Wands, and that life is too short to not enjoy these and appreciate these, the Devil cannot get to you. He might still be there, but he can't really do anything. And with the Ten of Swords, oh, okay. I skipped over the Four of Swords. And maybe that maybe that's actually meaningful, because the Four of Swords talks about rest and sleep. And I skipped over it because I wanted to get on to the next thing. And so maybe that was for a reason. Maybe that was a message for you guys, like to not compromise on your sleep, to not skip out on sleep, because it's very, very important to make sleep and rest a priority. Personally, I need a lot of sleep. Like I'm not the type of person who can like just get a few hours of sleep and like wing it the next day. Like I've always been that way. And when I'm even a little bit sleep deprived, I am extremely anxious and agitated, and like physically I don't feel good. So I have to make sleep a priority. And I do. I think I'm pretty good at that. So anyway, don't skip out on your sleep, because the devil could be more active if you're more sleep deprived. It really does make a difference. And make sure also like you're eating enough food and drinking enough water as well. Because, you know, being hangry or being dehydrated, that can really mess with your mental state as well. So if you find yourself being kind of negative or being kind of irritable or just feeling kind of down, I feel like taking care of your physical body could do wonders. Even if it's just like taking a nap, eating a snack, drinking some water, going for a walk, it can really make a difference and make the problem seem less big. So I think what we're doing is like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. Because with the Ten of Swords as like the end of year energy, and I feel like this is indicating around like October, because this is Libra energy and then we have the number 10 here. Around that time of the year, you know, I think this is you being like, okay, I need to take a break from this one thing that's stressing me out. So for example, if it's work that's stressing you out and putting a strain on your relationship, you're like, I think I need to take some time off work. Or if it's social media, you're like, okay, I need to like delete Instagram for a while. If it's negative comments, you're like, okay, I need to stop reading the comments for a while. I think you guys get the picture. You're like, I need to get this spilled cup out of my sight for a bit, because if I can't stop just like putting all my energy to it and focusing on it, I have to move away from it, because it's not healthy for me. So it's like you're taking a break from it. Like if you're single and you are on Bumble or whatever dating app exists in your country, and you keep trying to find someone and you're going on a bunch of dates and you can't meet someone good, and it's like it gets more and more frustrating. This would be like, I'm just gonna delete Bumble for a while. Anyway, I think you guys get the picture. But then when you do that, you realize how peaceful life is. Holy crap. Where did the devil go? The devil is gone, because I'm not draining mental energy from this thing anymore. I feel this actually feels really good. And then a break turns into just ending it. I don't know, this could even be like a friend or something, like, or someone in your life. Like everything in my life is going amazing, but this one friend or like this one connection has just been like stressing me out. And then you're like, okay, I'll just put some space. I'll just distance myself from this person for a while. But then you distance yourself from them for a while and you realize how good you feel, and you're like, oh, I kind of don't want to go back. It's that kind of feeling. You've distanced yourself from something, take a break from something, and then because the break feels so amazing, you're like, wait, I kind of don't want this break to end. Like, I just want this to be my life from now on. And so with this Ten of Swords, I feel around the end of the year, you guys are like cutting ties with something that stressed you out. And it's literally like, it's when you stop focusing on this spilled cup that it will unspill, or like that spirit will bring you another one. So like, just going back to those examples, it's when you delete Bumble that you will bump into your soulmate at Whole Foods. Or like, it's when you quit your terrible job that has been stressing you out like crazy that you get your dream job offer. Or like, I don't know, I think that you guys get the picture. It's when you stop, I don't know, maybe like the one thing that's going wrong in your relationship is like the physical connection, the physical intimacy. And it's when you stop putting so much pressure on it that things start flowing organically and things start going well. So it's like when you take your mind off it, it suddenly thrives. It's like it's like that. I often think of eye floaters, how like if you look at it, it like tries to float away, you know? Anyway. Or like, I'm also having a visual of a deer, or like a kind of skittish animal, like a deer or a chipmunk. There's this chipmunk that came to my mom's yard this year, and like, you have to just kind of hold out the food and wait, and then the chipmunk really, really slowly, like boop, 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 comes up to you. But if you're like, ah, chipmunk, and you like try to chase it, it's gonna scurry away. And there's something that you're trying to manifest, I think, that's kind of like that. And it's like the second you stop looking for it, it will show up. Or the second you stop putting so much pressure on it, it will come out. It's like you have to relax, and then it will come. That's the vibe. So let's take a look at some final oracle cards to get messages and advice from Spirit for your love life. Actually, this first message is from Aphrodite, and it says, intuition. My dear child, I see that your psychic gifts are strong at this moment in time. Use them. This is a good time to get more information about something. Follow your intuition. Definitely a message for this energy, because the Seven of Swords person intuition is spot on and they're getting back in touch with it. For the Hanged Man person, we can connect with our psychic gifts and connect with our spirit guides and that higher intelligence to help understand better, like, why am I here? What should I be focusing on right now? Oh, balancing the brain. I can be and do all at once. So this is a beautiful card that makes me think about balancing your feminine and masculine energies. I feel like feminine is more of the being energy and masculine is more of the doing energy. And I have a feeling with this group, there's a bit too much doing, or there's a resistance to being. So this group, you could either be like go, go, go and doing a lot, or you could be just being right now, but you don't feel good about it. You're like, I need to be doing right now. That kind of thing. You know, like when you're taking a break, but you're not really taking a break, but because you're thinking about work and you feel anxious that you're resting, that's not a real break. So it's like, we're learning how to just be. And being doesn't make you any less of a doer. We need both. We need both the stillness and action. We need both the outward journey and the inward journey. We need both the masculine and feminine energy. We have courage. Fear is natural. It invites us to be brave. Accept and face what scares you. I wonder if, for some reason, you guys might have a fear of like the very thing that makes you happy, or a fear of just like letting go and embracing joy. I don't know. But that is a thing. Like the things that we want the most could be what we're most afraid of. I guess because we care about it so much that there's a lot of pressure for it to be like as good as we've dreamed it. Or yeah, there's like a pressure of it being as good as we thought, or, you know, once we get it, maintaining it properly, not taking it for granted, not letting it slip away. And then finally, we have the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. And I love this image so much. It's so beautiful. Like, I literally remember this card out of this deck, even though I don't use it that much, just because of how beautiful it is. Wow. So my group number 4s, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very beginning of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below. And you can also check out my merch, which will be on my website, and which I think I forgot to say in the outros of all the other groups, but it's because the merch is more recent, so I'm not used to it saying it. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and I'll let you get on with your day or night. Maybe it's time for you guys to go to sleep, and if so, I hope you have a very, very restful sleep. And if it's late and you weren't planning on going to bed after this, maybe you should. Yeah, so anyway, that's all. And I'm sending you guys lots of love, to you, to everyone you're involved with this year, be it love interest, family, friends, as well as your spirit guides and your spiritual team. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.